Today's show brought to you live from Lounge Media Group Studios. It's Pedro and the Freight Hound with the Logistics Lounge. The views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.
What is popping, everybody? Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you chopping out some of the end of your week for us. We have a star-studded cast here today. Everyone that is on screen was invited besides Jeff. We just don't know how to kick him out yet.
Bud.
We should start a counter for how many times Jeff kicks himself off the show every show.
Jeff, sit your ass down.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you imagine if we did a shot? Can you imagine we had done a shot every time he's done it so far? I'd be 5 in.
There you go.
We'll make it a drinking game.
I was just about to say that, Bill. We should make it a drinking game.
Bill, come on now.
You mean to tell me you drink stuff besides mead, Bill?
He's a funny man.
Oh God.
Anyway, we're going to see how everyone's day is going, starting with Claudia. Claudia the Connector. What's up?
Hey,
We ain't seen you in forever.
what's going on, people? It looks like let's see here. It's my sound.
We can hear you.
You can hear you.
Yeah, but I could also hear my dogs. Okay, now can you hear
Oh,
me?
that sounds way better. That's way better. Yeah.
Wait.
Hey guys. What's up?
Howdy, howdy.
How you doing,
Uh,
Claudia? How's your week,
you
your
know,
day?
Fighting the good fight, doing the things. I just got hit with a $10,000 late fee and repower claim. So I'm like, that's why I was late. I was like, what's going on here? Let me look at that. So yeah, fun times. I love Friday.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Good times.
Well, besides that, things going good though?
Man, things are good. Things
That's
are really good. I'm super excited. I've been able to work hybrid, so I've been working from my home office more. See my flowers? Sugar Bear got me flowers. Um, and that's been really nice because it's like even when the crazy is still the same on the computer, like the environment around me makes me, maybe be a little less violent in my response. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, we all like less violent Claudia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, most do anyway.
You're just a scary person, period, Claudia. I don't care what any fucking body tells you. You scare me.
The day that when I saw you guys, like for real, like I mean, I rocked up like I am not 5 foot tall.
Nope.
By myself, like without shoes. I'm not even 5 foot tall, but I hear that word a lot. Scary, intimidating, whatever. No such thing, not me. Not sweet little old me.
Oh, that's so funny. Adam, you're eating. Do your thing. Mark, how are you doing?
I am, like I said earlier, I'm right on the borderline between good and great, especially since it's Friday. So had a pretty good week. Enjoyed the show. Went to the show last week. Got back in the saddle, and as I told you guys earlier, I'm getting ready to go to Italy in a few months. So first time across the pond. So looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
Good deal, man. Hell yeah. We'll be expecting our invitations.
Exactly. I'll bring you some cannolis.
Hey, don't you threaten me with a good time, pal. You bring them on right back. I'm down with that.
There you go.
Bill, how are you, my friend? We have not had you on in a dog's age.
Well, in fairness, other than hanging out with Jeff and the gang with the Freight Fraud Task Force, I haven't been on, I don't think, in a long time anywhere, frankly. And I haven't really been on LI, but when you and I always make sure we stay in touch. So when you reached out, I figured, it's time to come and say hello. It's been too long, Mr. Potato.
Man, I appreciate it, and we do, man. You and I, we're always talking, man, texting or DMing or something. And I know Friday is a long shot because I knew usually you have the grandson, so I was like, I'm gonna shoot it to him anyway. You never know, just in case he can sit that kid down with a Happy Meal for 30 minutes. No.
Listen, I can at least spend 15, 20 minutes. The only thing, in fairness, you didn't tell me Spencer was coming on. He was going to eat and take shots of me the way he was. So but I'm still here. How's that?
What
Why are we being so fragile?
Sorry, I don't speak French. I only speak broken English.
Bill's a big boy now. He's a big boy. He's got.
Oh my God!
Look, listen. We all know you're the tallest giraffe in this.
Oh
channel.
my God, we're full. We're full. The screen is full. We have people waiting in the back. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Look at that. Ingrid, how are you? Rob, I know you can hear me. I'll bring you on in a minute, brother.
You could kick me to bring him in. I don't care.
No.
No.
We'll
You can't kick me to bring her up. I'm just kidding.
that's exactly right. We couldn't do that.
Lady state.
I'm doing good. There's your. I give you the release of the week. I'd had surgery last Thursday, but I'm doing good. So
Oh
we're
my
good to go.
gosh.
Yeah.
What was it for, Ingrid?
I have melanoma, and so I had another spot that kind of looked kind of weird. So they took it off last week at the cancer center. So
Oh.
Have you? Did you do the immunotherapy?
Yep. Prior. And I got it first in 17. And mine is genetic. So my grandfather passed with it, my mom passed with it, and my oldest brother has it as well as I do.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Get with me after the show. There's something I need to tell you to take.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, but I'm doing great. I mean, let's see, I'm up to 6 reefers and still doing mine, and headed out to California next week. And
Our condolences.
How much reefer do your reefers haul?
How much reefer? Actually, none. I did have.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Adam's interested in buying.
The trailer or the other? Never mind. I can't help you on the other. I can help you on the trailer.
Well, what I was going to say is that's all fake news because Ingrid, that is not your real truck. You do not drive it, and it does not haul freight. I mean, the Facebook, the people on Facebook, they said that, and if it's on Facebook, it has to be true.
Yeah, I mean, listen, look, she always said, "Hey, I'm coming through Memphis, let's meet." And every time something would happen, it was the strangest thing. Like all of a sudden, Ingrid couldn't meet me. I'm like, did she actually drive that thing?
Ingrid's got too much stuff going on.
God dang, y'all do you have to tell everybody everything? Yeah, Adam, and here I am still in West Memphis. Now, where are you?
I got smart and moved.
There you go.
I know. But anyway, it's great to see y'all. Oh,
it's always good to see you too. We're glad you're doing okay.
Thanks. I had to crash the party today, so there you go.
Well, I'm glad you crashed the party. It's always good to see you, Ingrid.
Wait, why am I getting hate in the chat already? Golly, somebody tell her to go take care of her ducks. Go do something. Go build another duck penthouse.
Oh man, I so wanted to mess with her more about her duck house. Like she was showing it today. I was like, that shit don't look up to code to me.
I'll tell you, it's a bunch of chicken wire looking nonsense. I mean, it looks better than most houses in rural Florida.
Yeah, you better leave Serena alone, bro. I have a theory that she is training those ducks to be like her own team of assassins. You know what I mean? It would only make sense why she needs so many of them.
SWAT ducks. Quack squat.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to remember where you used to live, Adam.
I know. She doesn't realize. I come from the hood, all right? 4 espresso for pizza.
Actually, I was on my way to see Adam one day, and when I realized where I had to go, I'm like, maybe I should rethink this.
Oh, that's why she did. There's your answer right there, bro.
Listen, I want y'all to finally realize I'm from the streets. All right, don't mess with me. You don't know what could happen.
Well, we know that.
You throw hands like that.
How did it go again?
Oh my God.
Kill me like this.
Exactly. Now, I'm glad you understand. Sometimes they go in circles. Sometimes they come out. Sometimes they come across. I don't know.
Right.
So, Adam's that person that knocks his own self out.
That's right. Only twice, though. Only twice.
Hey, but you know what? Luckily for you, you were EMT trained.
Right.
So you can take care of yourself, man.
Is EMT really stand for emergency medical technician? Is that really what it stands for?
No, it stands for what's in my brain, empty.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's why he has the handlebar mustache. His brain has to have something to hold on to stay the hell inside his head.
To stay in there.
Oh man. I don't know who we were on. Ryan, welcome. Long time listener, first time caller, never time listener. I don't know.
Co-Floridian.
Controller. What's up, people? How you doing?
Man, we're good, man. Welcome.
You enjoying this heat, Ryan?
Brother, we just got a storm, so it's cooled off.
I know. I live down the street from you.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, you're exactly right.
Dude, I just borrowed your weed eater yesterday.
I'm in St. Augustine. I'm in St. John's.
So,
yeah.
Oh, shit.
What we're finding out, Adam, is even when you live close to people, they don't come in.
Dang!
Listen, Bill. People don't come to check on me because they're not worried about me having Alzheimer's. Okay, I'm just saying. Don't bring me meals because I'm not a shut-in. Okay.
Oh damn, bro! That was a good one, man. Damn, that was
Thanks.
good.
Physical proof. I was at a conference yesterday. I do go out of the house once in a while.
As long as it's before 4 o'clock.
No, that's Rob Carpenter, bro. That's Rob. It's fucking Rob.
He's gonna take his nap.
Dude, I was just telling Hunter before we went live, Rob. I was telling him, I was like, dude, I think Rob's really starting to like me. And he was like, why is that? I was like, bro, I had him out past dark 2 days last week. Like, he doesn't do that for just anybody.
Well, I mean, Ingrid, you and I, we've all been out at like 2 in the morning, 12 in the morning. So, I mean, like Ingrid, we really get along.
Yeah,
so
yeah, Ingrid's a bad influence. Don't let her.
Let the truth be told.
And your significant others know about your identity. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have one, and she knows. Of course, she's like,
Yeah.
all the time.
Dude, who are you? I mean, if you were going to be out at that time of night, who better to be with than like a fucking safety compliance mitigation guy? You know what I mean? And Ingrid, who is navigating like 4 million miles on the road. Like, I mean, come on.
Now we know why Ingrid and him get along. Where's your truck, Ingrid?
I only go out late at night with people that can
right
fight.
over there.
I
Can't you see
fight.
it?
So, like, I went with Ingrid to make sure that I was good.
You're right.
I'm starting to see a theme here. This all revolves around Ingrid being the bad influence.
Because she is.
That honestly is the consensus. It really is. Not even on the show. It is just the consensus.
She's usually the voice of reason. So, like, sometimes I can get kind of crazy and I will say some insane things on the fly.
No.
With Ingrid will be the first one to call and say, "Hey, Rob, don't do something stupid." It's like the work wife.
Well, she can't be. You can't be the instigator and the voice of reason at the same time, Ingrid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't set him loose and then talk him down.
Pick a side, Ingrid.
I'm the innocent one here.
Either you're on my left shoulder or my right shoulder. Let's pick one.
I'm the innocent one with the halo. It just is held up by my horns here. Yeah. But let me tell you, when you wheel into Austin and you're being escorted by like 7
State troopers,
Austin PD, and they're like on bicycles, they're in ATVs, they're in their cars, they're in it's just crazy. And you look around and here stands Rob and he's filming you. And you're blindsiding in off the street with all this crazy traffic and stuff. And you get out, you go like, listen, will you help me get my stuff out of the truck? And I go to the back of the trailer and I open the door and I'm like, hey, come help me get this first. And he comes back then and he goes, what are you doing?
Bro, she had to
unload this wagon.
Like,
and I take the wagon to the front and I open the passenger door and I said, I'll hand you the stuff. And I started handing him stuff out. Bags and shoes and dress clothes and this whole big huge wagon is full, and Rob's standing down there taking pictures of it going, are you unloading the whole truck in the middle of Austin Street here?
I'm starting to see a theme here because this Rob and me, Rob, both of us, every time we get around you, you put us to work. Like, she had me shining her damn trailer. And like, I'm just trying to talk to her, Rob. She literally hands me a cloth that says, if you're just going to stand here. I was like, well, damn. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit. Y'all were in a full-fledged conversation. It's like, doesn't that stuff work great? You're like, yeah, man. I'm on this. 30 minutes later,
I did.
Like, I shot the entire back into that truck.
I did.
That's funny.
Yeah, everybody.
Adrian, what's up, man? We kind of left you out. I want to see at least how you're doing before you just sit there looking all lonely.
Man, I'm good, man. I'm excited to be here as always. Just to show the logo. That's Cochrane Mofo. It's my logo. Why did I pick a multicolored rooster? Because it's a cock that comes in many colors. And I am kind of fried right now because you can see I wrote 100 pages of SOPs this week, and I got 4 more weeks to go.
Does it turn colors based on your mood at the time, or?
Nah, depending on the colors coming in.
Oh,
a mood ring.
I didn't. You read 101 pages of SOPs. I'm just kind of.
I type them things, man. I'm fried, man. I barely want to say anything.
I still have my 2-page dissertation on why Hunter has to come to break bulk, but he doesn't know how to read, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with it.
Working on it.
Bro, I told you, picture books only, Adam.
Hey, I got a quick question. I'm looking at the board and I'm like, who do we have? We got Jeff, we got Bill, Adam. So can we do like a raise of hands? How many people here are over 55 years old? I'm just.
Well, if you look at the top, I mean, it's on the top right of mine, but if you look on the top right, it's like the whole geriatric club, and then it just gets younger as you go around to the left. It's kind of like a clock.
Spencer, when was the last time you were told you were number one, pal? You're number one.
And a number two, yeah.
Rob, are we going to do it by bracket? People under 40, people over 50, and then people over 60?
I tell you what we do. We do it by, instead of by age, we do it by physical fitness level. And then it changes everything.
Okay, well, I can't raise my arms then. I'm out.
Yeah, me too.
Any of you young punks go to the gym 5 days a week?
No.
Are you staring in the window for an hour, or what are you doing?
No, man, I'm there 5 days a week.
Hey, don't let Mark's jacked, man.
I don't know about that.
Cold plunges.
So for all people over 65 with hair and a beautiful mustache, please raise your hand.
Okay, that's like saying all people are Italian and Irish with a temper. Please raise their hand. You know, we're going to do it.
You have the pencil crayon.
Everybody that's full of crap, raise your hand.
Well, Ingrid, you got everybody on that one.
It is a trucking show.
This is a trucking show.
Hey, hold on a second. At least, Ingrid throws that out there, but we're not the one driving around in Wonder Woman's truck that's invisible, and all you see is Ingrid floating on the ground.
If you'll just watch, though, Bill, I'm leaving here, I don't know, probably Thursday, Friday to go to California, but I don't think I'm going to haul anything. I'm just going to drive out there.
On that Facebook, on that post, it was on our page when Hunter did an interview with Ingrid, and someone commented on there, oh, this is not your truck, you're not a driver, this thing doesn't haul freight, and their whole example was that because Ingrid has a door bar, or I don't know the technical term for it, but she has a door bar, so when she's at shows, it keeps the door open but keeps people from getting out of it. And her company, Blackjack, had the best fucking comeback. They replied, "You just won the dumbest comment award," or something like that. And dude, it had so many likes, bro. And then after that, it's just like a bombardment of things of people saying, "Dude, you're an idiot. I know Ingrid. I've seen her drive this." And we're sitting here talking, being Hunter, I put dude, we have footage of her backing this thing into the damn show. It was it was crazy, man. It was absolutely stupid.
In fairness, the one you showed before that, you and Hunter, was you guys, picked out some guy to do an interview on a truck, and it wasn't even his.
Truck show.
No, that was his truck. That's a joke. That's a whole joke.
Hey, when you get to be my age, you read just the one line.
No, dude, we're doing a second interview with him tomorrow that we did at Texas Trucking Show, and it's the same thing.
With Joe.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we're doing Hunter called him Truck Show Steve, and so we're sticking with the same thing. I think I was saying, oh, we're here with Joe the Show Truck or whatever, and he goes Truck Show Joe. And so it's same deal, yeah. I don't know, him and Hunter just planned that shit out right there on the spot about it not being his truck, and it was good. It was a good video. No, that was really his truck, Bill.
But again, when you only are scanning the top line, all I read was not his truck. And I'm like, so what are we going to do? Okay, next.
That dude, Joe, he's a good guy, man. He's starting to become a friend. That guy he's an absolute hoot, man.
He's awesome. I do a lot of we do a lot of shows at the same time together. I'll see him, for three of them. I'm not going to Walcott. Who's going to Walcott? Anybody going to Walcott? I'm not going to Walcott to the jamboree out there.
No,
but
but
I'll
we're
be
having
at,
him on the show next week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Lee
he's
Meyer
awesome.
is her name.
Oh, okay. Yep. So
that was pretty funny last week when Jessica interrupted the fire marshal to try to interview Joe.
Like
the fire marshal's talking to Joe to do like an official inspection, and Jessica just walks up and just says, "Hey, your truck showed Joe," and he's like, "Yeah." That interview went real well.
Oh, bro.
Then the fire marshal's like, "Ma'am."
Yeah, that fire marshal's like, "Man, please step away."
Man, this is a Wendy's.
Even further back.
when Alex and her came and did mine at Super Rigs, it was a blast, y'all. Excuse me. She had, I mean, we had never met in person yet. And so she was like, I didn't know he was filming. And I was taking 2 BC powders in the middle of all of it. And he was filming all the bloopers and everything. I mean, he just put it all in there. And then he got me to clog. And I'm like, God dang, just cut that out. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to edit this. I'm like, whatever. But she was just a mess. She was amazing. She just needs to keep doing that with him. That's great.
Yeah, that was last week's Friday show. That was fire. I went back and watched that whole show. I never rewatch our shows, never, ever. And I went back and watched that whole thing Friday night when we got back to our Airbnb, and I was like, damn, that was fire, dude. Like, that was
really should take over more often,
bro. No, yeah, well, sure, whatever. I don't care. That's fine. Give me a break.
Well, as you know, I've got my grandson, so I'm going to be heading over to dinner and stuff.
Ooh,
in
nice.
case I don't talk to all of you beforehand, happy 4th to all of you, and be very safe and everything else like that. And it's a screwed up week next week for transportation because we got obviously Canada Day on Tuesday, and we got the 4th on Friday. So we're trying to figure out where to stash and hide shit. So you guys have a weekend.
You have a good one, and we appreciate it. But I mean, I don't know if I can technically accept Happy 4th from a Canadian. I mean, I don't know.
Mexico.
Okay, so how about this? Have a shitty 4th then if you prefer.
Independence Day. Sure. Independence Day, you filthy swine.
But still, even if you're gonna have a shitty one, Rob, at least make it safe. How's that?
I would do that.
Just make sure they pre-chew your food tonight.
Bill, you have a good evening, man. Have a good time with your grandson, and have a fantastic weekend, brother. It's good seeing you, man. Seriously.
Pleasure as always. Thanks, guys. Be safe.
Have a good one. See you.
Bye,
Bill.
Fucking Bill. That guy's the GOAT, man.
At least he's not Canadian, or French, rather.
Yeah, at least not French Canadian. That's worse. That's like double time.
Oh, we have them down here, and we used to have them in Michigan, man. They're something.
I can't remember where Bill lives in Canada, but I don't know. But he's cool. He's cool people, man. Unless he told you he was Canadian, you would never know it. I'm serious. That guy, he's a cool dude, man.
He is.
So, Adrian, I want to know more about this logo. What is this logo?
Well, I just wanted to get away with, of course, saying a cock that comes in many colors to HR. And
yeah, 100%. You absolutely missed the opportunity to put your tagline is I have a multicolored cock instead of I wrote 100 pages of SPs.
But yeah, so I also want to be able to say cocky mofo without saying cocky mofo. So his name is Cochran. That's why I came up with it. And then kind of like Go Tigers, Geaux. His last name is Mopheaux. Some real fancy shit, right? So
wow.
Yeah, so it's just real fancy kind of Carlton Banks because I got called Carlton all growing up through high school and middle school. If it wasn't Carlton, it was Urkel or Webster. So now I own it, man.
Nice.
I had a battle buddy that looked just like Webster. His name was Andrew Smith, and he was like 5 foot tall and drill sergeant. So, how tall are you, Private? He was like, I'm 4'12", drill sergeant. He kept saying it over and over again. I'm 4'12", 5'1". That's 5 foot. Yeah, you don't make it. He looks just like Webster. Actually, we had a wall locker inspection boot camp one time, and we woke up and he had all the stuff all over his bunk. So we just locked him in his wall locker and went to formation. Just like Webster.
Dude, it took me about 10 seconds to figure out who the fuck was talking.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm like looking at the
I was like, oh man, dude, I know I've not drank that much yet.
Yeah, I know Ryan was in the military, so I'm like looking at Ryan, but his screen's frozen, and I'm like,
I thought it was too.
I'm like, who is he talking to? Who's talking?
I'm like, Hunter got a really deep voice all of a sudden. That's weird.
I keep tapping this thing, turning back on and off, but it.
It's that damn Florida internet, man.
Yeah, that's what it is. Fucking Dell is in Florida with his internet. Oh, there he is.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there he is.
I was just about to put a silver alert out for you, Dale.
What's going on?
Adam, you are on it tonight, bro. Holy shit, man. Woo.
Listen,
How you doing,
it's
Dale?
been a rough week, all right? I need to vent just a little.
With something else. Dell, are you there? I think you froze.
Dude, this stage is like the revolving door. I'm working all my way up. I'm working my way up to the top.
Right? It's just like you constantly slowly move positions.
Oh, you said too much.
Oh, you got bumped back down.
It's like a bad game of Tetris.
That's in the Bob Euchre section.
You know what I just noticed,
Listen.
Hunter? You know, noticed. Hold on, our news story just posted on our page, and we never did news. Oh, fuck.
That's great. Go read it.
Oh, exactly. It's great. Matter of fact, man, we should have done it. I should have done it because Rob's on the show, man. Everyone talked about it already, Rob.
Bro, go ahead and do it. This will be the first time we've done news with like 10 people.
It's like nothing like doing news in the middle of the show.
Well, there you go. Well, let's do it. Fucking Lounge Media News brought to you by AR Doc Pro and source from Truckin' News Hub. All right, everyone has probably heard about this already today. It has been plastered all over LinkedIn and some other places, but maybe some folks haven't. So if you have not, the Texas Supreme Court reversed a lower court's $90 million verdict against Warner Enterprises and a driver in a case over a fatal crash in 2014. The crash in question stems from when a driver of a pickup traveling too fast on an icy, divided interstate in Texas suddenly lost control, hurtled across 42-foot wide median, and collided with an 18-wheeler driven by or owned by Warner. The collision killed one of the pickup's occupants. It was a minor, and there were several other people that were severely injured. Warner has maintained for the past decade that its driver had no blame in the crash and that it could not have been avoided. Yet a Houston jury in 2018 found Warner and the driver liable for the crash, awarding the family of the victims $89.7 million. Attorneys for the plaintiffs in that case argued that the driver should have pulled off I-20 due to the icing conditions and blamed Warner for not instructing the driver to avoid the highway due to the poor driving conditions. The jury in the initial trial determined that if not for the 18-wheeler speed and them being on the road, this is just crazy logic to me, which the 18-wheeler speed, which was below the speed limit, but was still unsafe for icy conditions, that the accident likely would not have occurred or the injuries would have been less severe. The Supreme Court added that they must conclude, however, that this proof is insufficient to establish that the defendant's negligence, being Warner, was a substantial factor in bringing about the plaintiff's injuries. Finally, the Texas Supreme Court Chief Justice Jimmy Blacklock said in the court's opinion that Warner truck's presence on the highway and its speed furnished the condition that made the injuries possible, but it did not proximately cause said injuries. So this has been a major thing going on in the background of our industry for quite some time. We've had Matt Leffler on to talk about it before. I'm pretty sure Rob and Sam Watts, probably Claudia, like a lot of the people that we know that deal around the safety compliance stuff have talked about this, and everyone's been waiting to see what was going to happen with this Supreme Court judgment, and here we go. And honestly, this is a win. This is a major win. These people never should have been sued. I mean, I'm sorry to say, it was these people's fault that this crash happened and that person lost their life, not Warner's. Because if it wasn't a Warner truck, it would have been something else. You know what I mean? And then if you talk about them being on the road, well, then why the fuck were you on the road? Why is it safe for you, driver, four-wheeler, to be on the icy road, but not the truck?
Where were they going? Like, the truck had commercial business to do. Like, they were trying to continue interstate commerce. He had a job. What were you doing?
Yeah, and I want to say, to answer that question, I believe they were traveling over the holiday. If I'm not mistaken, Rob, I don't know how familiar you are with this. Maybe you could correct me, but I'm pretty sure they were traveling for the holiday. But the point still stands, Adam. I agree with you. Like, if the road was that way, why didn't you pull up? Why is it the responsibility of only the commercial motor vehicles to have to protect all the other stupid people on the road?
And why were you overdriving the conditions is my next question. I mean, it all boils down to these ambulance chasing and truck chasing attorneys that have their billboards on the side of every interstate in the United States. Like, yeah, there's just, I understand that there's a lot that happens that needs to be dealt with, right? But stuff like this was ridiculous, and the verdict itself was ridiculous.
But I think
$90 million. Come on.
I think one big piece of this, though, that a lot of people are looking at it like, yeah, it's a win for basically tort reform and all these ridiculous nuclear verdicts that are going around over things that aren't always the fault of the carrier. But what a lot of people aren't looking at is how much has it cost the carrier to fight this? So it's cost Werner like $20 million in professional legal fees just to fight this case. So it's still catastrophic to their bottom line, right? Like, they had like, who knows what, 35 million in reserves on this insurance claim for probably 3 or 4 years. So looking at somebody's balance sheet is like, it's affecting them.
That's why these attorneys chase them, because they know that they could probably get a large settlement out of court because they don't want to incur all the attorney's fees just to fight it. Like, that's where the stop needs to be put to.
Well, I think my argument is making someone whole is what the goal is, right? If you're responsible for a crash, making them whole is what you're responsible for. Making someone rich is what you're not responsible for. And self-insured retention is $10 million on their policy. So they offered to cover the $10 million and that'd be it. But everybody had to get greedy. So that's now where we are. Is like, I would have probably taken the $10 million. I don't know.
Question.
So now they get nothing.
Hey, hold on. Let Adrian ask this question.
So let's say the truck driver's going westbound. The guy who was he was going eastbound and basically crossed hit oncoming traffic.
Yes, they collided with the Warner truck. They hit the Warner truck. Warner truck never left its lane, never did anything wrong. They were just driving, doing what they were doing. Their hours of service were legal. The driver was legal, insurance, everything. Like, you cannot ask for a better scenario as far as when a crash happened with the truck. They collided with them and they sued Warner, saying it was Warner's fault because the person that lost their life was a minor, like I said. So that's what this all kind of became. It was someone lost their life, a lot of people injured, and they blamed Warner, saying, oh, well, if your truck wasn't there when we went across the median, we just would have kept on going. Yeah, and you would have fucking hit something else. Like, Warner was just the thing that stopped you at that point. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, they sued Warner, and people are all over this blaming Warner because the driver was in trainee status. His trainer was in the bunk, and Robbie, correct me again if I'm wrong, the trainee had enough hours underneath him to be driving in solo status, which is what they do when you train as a driver. They start you out with your trainer. I'm the trainee. I'm in the seat, and then Jeff is right next to me as my trainer. All day we run logs similar to each other, and then as I get better, they do what they call super solo, and they'll allow me to drive for X amount of time by myself, and Jeff can be doing whatever he wants, in the bunk, sitting in the seat, whatever. And so that's what the thing was, is because he was a trainee, and they tried nailing it to Warner, man, but Warner had their ducks in a row on this one.
So theoretically, they went sliding, and they kept on sliding and went across the lanes of traffic and went up and hit a westbound Union Pacific train. Is it the railroad's fault then?
That's basically what the argument was that if Warner would have not been on the road and they wouldn't have been there, that the accident never would have happened. Or the severity or whatever of the incident wouldn't happen. That was the whole argument.
Yeah, no, I don't buy it. unless they went right in front of the truck and the truck broadsided them, and that's what caused the fatality. No, that's not accurate because they could have flipped and rolled it and had fatalities just the same.
Well, in my post today on LinkedIn, I was looking at it like, imagine you're somebody like you win the lottery ticket, right? Like you get this $100 million lottery ticket, and then somebody comes in and is like, "No, I bought that ticket, it's mine," and then it's gone, right? So I think the way I looked at it was, Werner offered them $10 million, right? That's their self-insured retention. That's what they would have had to pay no matter what. That's basically their deductible on a self-insured policy. Had they taken that, they would at least got $10 million. Now the Supreme Court's reversed it, right? So I'm thinking they can't go back and redo it. Now they get nothing. So now your $100 million lottery ticket just went in the trash can. So it's like sometimes you got to weigh the settlement factor. Like, is it better for me to be made whole at 10 million, which is more than whole in my opinion, or should I get greedy and decide to go the nuclear verdict route in hopes of getting 100 million? And I
mean, let's to be honest and fair on the other side, they're never going to be made whole, right? Like they lost a child, and God bless them for that. But I agree with you. At what point, how much money is going to make that pain go away? None.
Yeah. 10 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
The good news is the lawyers didn't get their third of that 10 million either.
That's true.
That's the even better part is that dude wasted all of his time and got nothing.
That's exactly what happened. Like we all know it was like they got that lawyers like, oh no, man, this is $1 billion, publicly traded company. Like, oh no, like they got tons more money than this. And
no, dude, it's Morgan and Morgan for the people. They saw dollar signs is what they saw.
I had said this in the beginning is that for one, that guy or that person driving knows it was their fucking fault. I'm sorry, like don't be an idiot. Common sense and logic, that was your fault that accident happened, 100%. And the fact that you had the audacity to try to blame someone else and then use the loss of your child as the extenuating factor or whatever you want to say to make it even worse and publicize, go after. I says my first thing, like, dude, you disgust me. I would never in my life make something like that public and do something like, I don't know. That right
never
there
make a spectacle out of your child for the sake of money.
Never, dude. For the sake of $1, bro.
Yeah.
For the sake of $1. Most I probably would have said was, dude, can you at least pay my medical bills? I'm serious. Like, hey, can you help pay me and my family's medical bills? You know what I mean? Even though it was their fault, that probably would have been the extent of the audacity that I would have had in something like that. Yeah. But anyway, it's a win. It's a good win for the day, man. I really think it is because this stuff's getting more and more and more and more with these ridiculous verdicts and.
Dude, they're getting brazen. Like it's just stupid at this point.
Yeah, it is.
And they're cherry picking these juries, man. They're none of these people are CDL holders, or have family that are drivers. You know what I mean? They're all folks that are just like, oh, look at the big bad truckers out there on the road. These horrible people out there just unaliving folks for no reason.
I don't know if you saw the argument. I had a month or so back with some random dude on LinkedIn just attacking me about truckers and how dangerous they were and how they don't belong on the road and how they're horrible people. And
I remember that.
I came back with the facts. I'm like, listen, dude, like it was like something insane. Like 92% of the accidents involving semi-trucks were caused by the four-wheel around them doing something stupid. Like it's just American truckers.
What's the numbers, Rob? Give us the numbers. We know you got them.
Well, it depends on who you ask, but the official numbers are 80% of of accidents involving commercial vehicles are not the fault of the commercial vehicle or the commercial driver. But you'll hear people argue that all the time. That's not actually, they didn't pull a good sample or they didn't come from a good place or whatever. But
I mean, there's perfect video last week outside Joplin. That dude in the car.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Just he takes a hard right into the truck and flips it over across the bridge. Like, come on.
That was horrific.
I went to I got the largest. I got a new customer last week. The largest private ambulance company in the United States. So I go down to Louisiana to meet these people.
AMR.
And the funny thing was, between the time I got off the interstate and the time I got to their office, it was 19 miles. In 19 miles, there was 89 lawyer billboards for trucking traffic.
Well, in Louisiana
you were so bored you actually counted?
Oh yeah. So when you get to a certain point, it's like Orlando. Like when I go to Regal Boats down in Orlando, who's a client of mine, when I get to their shop, right there at that little cluster, there's 3 trucking lawyer billboards just right there in the cloverleaf getting off to go to Regal. So it's like once you start to see a lot of them, it's like, I'm going to count these freaking things. Like there's 3 here. How many more are there between here and Daytona? And then you just kind of get preoccupied, like 99 bottles of beer on the
95 is nuts
Like that.
for that. Like they're everywhere.
Remember the guy's pulling up his sleeve, like, I'll fight for you. I
Yeah.
laugh every time.
I'll fight for you.
The sleeves, they're all over around here.
Like, what is that, Matt, bro? Is it hot in here or something? I don't understand that.
They're not for the people.
Bro,
Definitely not for the people.
Bro, if you're that nervous, you don't have to wear the suit to court. Like,
I think some of this goes to like, if you've ever done expert witness work, you'll find out that most lawyers that do this really don't know anything about what they're doing in terms of the actual transportation rules that are going to get them what they want. They bring in expert witnesses that will say, this truck driver didn't operate with due care or whatever. And that's usually what turns the lawyer on to say, oh, my expert said you should have done this. So a lot of times it's the experts that they hire. Like at TruckSafe, we don't represent anybody that goes against a carrier. So we represent, generally speaking, carriers only against litigation. So when we do expert work, that's all we do. So I actually got a case where they wanted to sue a carrier, and it was a good case. And Brandon Wiseman was like, no, we're not doing that. Like, we don't represent anybody that goes against the carrier community. So we turned it down. But I'm not the only expert witness out there, right? There's a lot of them, even on LinkedIn, that frequently go against carriers. And that's their whole makeup of their career.
It's terrible.
guys, you know, it's crazy because that attorney probably took that case on retainer, where contingency, where he collects 35% of the winnings, and he thought he had a payday, buddy.
4 years of work and you get nothing.
Yeah. You get nothing. You lose, sir.
Loser.
But they probably still also had to pay the expert witness who's probably getting $1,500 an hour or $500 an hour.
Oh, that's even better that he ate all that.
Oh, yeah.
I know, right?
You drink the fizzy bottle pop and you weren't supposed to. Boom.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that will trickle down to some of the other court cases out there in different states. You know what I mean? Precedence is huge, obviously huge thing in law. And the precedent so far has been, screw the truck company. Not saying that there aren't those out there that are 1,000% at fault. We all know there are horrible ones that they deserve everything that they get when they get sued and taken to court. But I think drivers and carriers, I've said it before, they're just easy targets, man. That's it. They're just easy targets for everything. They're easy targets for expensive, all the tow bills, all the parking costs, the high diesel costs. We talk about this. Diesel used to be cheaper than gas. What the fuck changed? We're not doing this in any different. We're refining this the same thing. Why does it cost more money? Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. They're easy targets, man. Everything about trucking it's an easy money thing, bro.
Well,
it's a captive audience.
They have,
there you go.
They have to have the fuel, right? And that's, part of my complaint. You walk into a truck stop and a driver can't walk out of there for less than $100 trying to get food for the day. I mean, that's
terrible.
I think for the accidents, one of the things that you can look at from a root level, I think it's a society issue. And Jeff can probably go to this. Dale can probably touch on it. I mean, maybe even some others. But when I grew up, my grandparents, who were born in the 30s and the 40s and in the 19-teens, they would not sue you no matter what. Like, they just did not believe in it. So there was also an element there of like personal responsibility. Like, they would look at things and say, I just chose the wrong doctor. Yeah, he messed up, but had I not chosen him, this wouldn't have happened, right? So a lot of times I look at society and how it's changed and just how like the whole personal responsibility element of everything across the entire society has changed. Like, there is no level of personal responsibility. And if there was, in this Werner case, this person would have looked at this and said, yes, my child died, but had I not crossed the freaking road and run into another truck that was coming the other direction, my child would be alive. But somebody else always has to be responsible, right? There's no self admission,
no accountability, right?
Yeah, none. So I think
do you think it started about the same time that the government started to allow commercials for lawyers on television?
I don't know about that one. I'll check.
That'd be interesting to see if there's a correlation.
Hold on. All right, we have to hold on. Everyone get your tinfoil hats.
I tie it to what I call the 1986 defect. I don't know how many of y'all are born after 86 on this call, but I've always had this thing. 86 started to become a bad year. If you were born after 90, it became really bad. And the HR people get on me all the time. It's like, Rob, you cannot turn them down simply because they were born in 1990. I'm like, oh, but I can.
Like, you can, you just don't say it.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not going to say that's everybody, right? There are really good people that were born after 1990. I got a pro rodeo cousin that lives down in Louisiana. Hardest working ranch dude you'll ever meet in your life, born 1990. But that's few and far between. And it's just like, let's say 20%. That's the Rob guidance of the day.
I have heard we had a deep conversation about this, Rob.
Yes. I stand on it.
I think that greed has driven a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? It's the same about the accountability when you either going to vet a carrier or not vet a carrier, and then something happens and you don't take that responsibility. You have the opportunity to vet them first before you put them on the load. So I mean, it's people just are not accountable. They're afraid to say when they're wrong and accept that. They always blame others, especially to what you're saying, Rob. It's not as easy as the older generation where we're able to say, hey, we're wrong, and deal with it. Now it's like all ego driven. It's like, no, I'm not going to say that because it's going to ruin my reputation.
It all boils down to entitlement. It's just like
it does.
I don't know if you're paying attention to the arguments between Eric Williams and that college professor from is it Michigan State? I think his name's Jason.
Oh, Jason Miller. Yeah.
Jason Miller. Have you been paying attention to the arguments between them? Like, they are on polar opposites.
Who is it? Jason and who?
Jason Miller and Eric Williams. Like, he owns Beagle Technologies now. He used to work in logistics at Target. And like he's over here throwing down facts of what has happened since the COVID pandemic. And Jason Miller is I'm blocked by him, by the way, because he can't have an honest conversation. And he didn't like the fact that I was pointing out his biases, and so he blocked me on LinkedIn, so I can't even see what he says. But to paraphrase, basically, he's saying that shippers have no right to make sure that drivers can speak the English language and follow instructions before loading their truck. And if they don't, they have no right to they have no right to turn those drivers away. And Eric's like, no, they absolutely have a right to do that, and they also have a fiduciary duty to do the right thing and not load them. And it's been an interesting argument going on for the past couple of days. I only get to see one half of it, unfortunately. But
I haven't seen that. But I would say, to me, is as simple as this. When you walk into a place and they have that fucking sign written on college ruled notebook paper hanging by the register that says we hold the right to refuse service to anyone. You're a private business, man. You're a private entity. You can do whatever you want. Serve who? I mean, you know what I mean. You gotta serve whoever. Like, as long as you're not being discriminatory per whatever the laws are, like, you can do whatever the hell you want with your stuff.
Well, it's not just anything. They have liability. There is vicarious liability in this. That if they load a driver with their product who was sent to their facility to deliver a shipment to their customer, they have a responsibility to make sure that driver can follow the laws of the United States interstate transportation laws. And if they don't, they're liable. There they are getting a nuclear verdict for $90 million because they loaded a truck they never should have loaded.
I can't wait for that to happen, because there's still a case out there right now. I think Landstar is involved in it. It's Landstar, LQT, and someone else about holding brokers responsible for, you know, hiring a truck or whatever it is like that. And so, I mean, if they're going to do it that way, I mean, holding a shipper accountable isn't far off, you know.
I mean, vicarious liability is a thing, and I talk about it frequently on LinkedIn because you see me frequently post these pictures of these guys running illegally. They're running oversized loads without banners, signs, escorts,
right?
Anything. They're hitting bridges, and I keep trying to educate brokers. I said at some point there is vicarious liability. You knew that driver wasn't doing what they were supposed to do, and you sent them on their way anyway.
Or the broker, Adam, didn't know what to say because he wasn't trained in moving heavy haul.
Right,
So
he wasn't educated in moving heavy haul, and that's heavy haul used to be that thing that only a very few of us did because it takes a lot of experience and knowledge to vet your carriers and know what you're looking for and what they need to be doing. And now you've got guys out there, these guys who have come in from overseas and gotten visas to become drivers during this rush the last 4 years, that they just live in their truck. They don't have a home. They live in their truck and they're hauling oversized freight for $2 and $2.50 a mile. And they're not permitting it. They're not getting escorts or banners or flags or beacons or anything. And they're continually having accidents. I mean, the 610 ramp or the 610 freeway has always had issues with bridges, but I don't think they've had a single week in the last couple of years where somebody hasn't hit one of the bridges at least once a week.
I agree with what he said, but I've got to go to a kid's birthday party, so I'm going to bounce and go eat some cake. And only thing I have left to say,
all of that talk about gym and health we had the other day, Rob, and you just ruined it right there.
The only thing I have left to say is Secretary Duffy was not on this show, and I'm upset about it.
What? Oh, yes.
I blame you for that, Rob. I'm just saying. I blame you for that.
What's up with that, Rob?
I can only do what I can do. So
for others, but not here.
Buttigieg or Buttigieg or whatever his name was, he wasn't here either. So
Buttigieg.
Y'all have a good one.
You too, Rob. Be good, bro. Thanks for hanging.
See it.
I want to follow.
Andy, what's up, man? You look like. Did you just get a fresh cut? You mean you look like a prepubescent. Like
he got there. Has he got a mint julep?
No, right? Indy's looking all fresh over here, bro.
Drinking a Mai Tai.
Got a fresh cut and a fresh save.
All lean and everything, all neat and clean.
Yep, just living life, fellas. Just seeing what y'all were doing here.
I'm not even sure he's a truck driver anymore because he doesn't have that 7-day scruff.
I know, right?
That's right. I'm a new breed. Flip flops. Put on the dash. 2,900 miles a week.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. You want to do this 2,900 miles for $1 a mile? I got it free for you, buddy.
How much a mile?
$1 a mile, baby. That's the
yeah.
Indy says he gets paid that. He gets paid that to walk to take a shower, Adam.
You don't understand my overhead, buddy. That's why I have to keep the detention.
Don't understand my overhead.
How's that truck treating you, Indy?
Pretty
You
good.
got all the kinks worked out of it and everything with the new PTO and all that.
Yeah, it's running real good.
Nice, dude. And when you posted that picture yesterday of you like backed into that puddle or whatever it was, dude, hey, it was like the first thing I saw when I logged on. I swear to God, I was like, did this motherfucker back into a lake? Because I didn't see anything else behind it, just that water. I was like, holy shit, what did Indy do?
Hey, free parking is free parking.
I know that's right, bro.
Stop that! You're gonna make Reed mad.
So, yeah, no, it's working out really good. I get home Tuesday night. I'm home Tuesday now, and then I can leave out. I basically go out and do one run, come home one night. I go out and do another run, and then I come home 2 nights. So, works out good. It's consistent. I don't have to wash out a tank all the time, which I can tell you right now is probably one of the biggest headaches in the tanker space if you're not like for a big fleet that has dedicated wash facilities is relying on third parties to wash it out all the time. it's become more and more of a pain in the butt. You can't open up a tank wash to compete in the space because of the EPA regulations. That's why everything was bought up and just Quala or Express Container owns about everything. So, and the quality is just horrible. So, I mean, it gets worse and worse every year. So, yeah, it's definitely a lot less stressful. It's different though. It's just a different kind of pace and stuff.
Hey guys, I'm gonna bounce, but it was nice meeting y'all.
Hey Ryan, have a good one, man. Sorry you didn't. When you're in here, bro, you just got to jump in. Like no one's gonna call on you. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, you got to do it like this.
Exactly.
Jeff Ryan, nice to meet you.
Again.
You too. Hey, it's nice to put a face with a name. But yeah, have a good weekend, y'all.
You too, Ryan. Thanks for coming. Hey, hold on. Hey, thank you for sponsoring that after party too, man. Like I appreciate you jumping on that, dude. It was an absolute blast, man.
Hopefully we'll have some good drinks on us.
We sure awesome. Did, man. Sure did. I took your 2 drink tickets.
There you go. All right. See y'all
later, man.
See ya.
I just noticed that was Ingrid down there. So I really liked that segment you done with Charles on XM there a couple of weeks ago. That was really good. You had a lot to say there that was really good, I think, in this industry. And I just wanted to shout out, appreciate the positive voice that you always provide.
Thank you. Wow, I really appreciate that. I enjoyed that. We talked this morning about starting to do one kind of on a regular basis. So I don't know. We'll see. But thanks. Thank you.
She's the Dolly Parton of trucking. She's a national treasure.
She is. She sure
hey, I wouldn't be what I am without you guys. I mean, it 100% is the guys that's got me through this in my whole career. There wasn't nobody else, but at the same time, I wouldn't trade it for what it is. I appreciate all y'all.
Takes a village, as they say.
Absolutely.
My Ingrid, you're just real.
For what you do, Ingrid.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Ingrid, you are an ambassador, like for things you don't even realize, like just the trucking community, like women in trucking, women in logistics, the longevity of being in trucking. I mean, just overcoming obstacles in life and still being able to be out there, hit the road. Like, Ingrid, I mean, we know you don't see yourself like that, but everyone else does, Yep. So I agree. You are the Dolly Parton of trucking.
Now she's the boss lady of trucking.
Thank you. Everybody's like, is it the fact that you don't know what to say when somebody tells you this, or is it the fact that you want to try to act like you're humble? And I've heard that lately, and it's like, it just pisses me off because I don't know how to address it, because I feel like I'm just no different than anybody else. Y'all have heard me say it. I will say it till I take my last breath. And it means the world to me because I take it by heart of what you say and how that is. So thanks.
Well, that's why we do all the talking and hype for you. We're your hype team. You know what I mean? Like, see those rappers, they only got one hype guy. Ingrid, you got like 50. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all are the bomb. Thanks. Thanks.
I'm part of the Ingrid Brown entourage. That's all I'm saying.
I was about to say, you got to come to Atlanta. We'll have like 30 of us a squatter.
Oh my God.
Yes. Oh, Ingrid, because of you, Hunter and I are getting one of the few media passes to Stars, Stripes, and White Lines in Atlanta. In the pit with you too, Tex, down there you were there when I talked to Polly, and when I saw Polly, her and I remembered each other when she presented the award to you at Lars Cars. I was like, hey, and she's like, oh, you were there. Things, yes. So yeah, we were talking, and Tex was right there, and we were talking about media, and she said, hey, we're only giving out so many this year. So she's like, make sure you get with us ASAP so I can make sure that you guys get one of the media passes. So thank you, Ingrid, because of you, literally that connection, we're going to go get to hang out at that show in Atlanta.
Nice. It was funny because something was said on Facebook this week, and she said, we were talking about you this weekend, and I'm like, oh God, I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it. And she never told me what the conversation was or anything like that. She said, oh yes, you did. And I thought, shit, what did I do?
That's probably, I don't know if it was that one, but it probably was, because we were all hanging out with, I don't know, a bunch of us, me, Tex, Hunter with truck parking. Her and our sponsor, AccuBid, her and Jimmy are practically neighbors.
That's crazy.
Yes, they were just there talking. She was like, "Oh, I got to go home to here," and Jimmy was like, "That's where I live." And she goes, "Where?" Like, I think there's like one person in between their two properties. It's fucking
That's
crazy.
nuts.
It is. It is nuts.
Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Tex, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hold for Ingrid.
Hold on a minute. Okay, so when I was at Bristol, and after the Saturday night that they gave me my national, invitation and passport on stage, and I'm so blessed that I work where I do, and Bryce allowed me to do the convoy. We did 10 grand for the lead truck donation and stuff. Hunter from Truck Parking Club. Nobody knows this, and he probably will beat me for saying this, but I have to. He came up over to the truck while Miss Polly and Evan had come over after the presentation, and you guys had just gone and were going back to Brandon's, going back to the trailer. And he came over and he hugged my neck, and he had me hold out my hand, and he put something in my hand and he took off back there where y'all were. And I was like, "What is it?" And I opened my hand up, and I want you to see what he did. Now, I had this with me when I went to surgery last week, and I've kept it with me ever since.
Oh my! And that is so Hunter Shearer as well. Like, that is so the kind of guy that he is.
Not a word, this is what I'm saying about when I don't know what to say about something, because then it's just, but yeah, this was just amazing. So you see, it goes
that is
everywhere.
So special, man. Thank you for sharing that with us, Ingrid.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
He was with me in the truck. I guess, did y'all know he was with me in the truck for the convoy?
I did know.
Cool.
Mark, are you out of here?
Yeah, I got to get going. Got to see
brother.
what the wife has plans tonight. So
Yep.
Nice meeting y'all, and hope to see you again.
You're welcome anytime, man.
Hey, Mark.
Bye now.
Bye.
Some cool stuff. So what else has everybody been in? Because I missed out. Sorry, I had to go take care of some stuff.
Any other news this week, Pedro?
We did news. It was about the verdict.
Yeah, you did the one story. I didn't know if you did more. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. Just
I know Hunter can only read one story a day.
It's all I can read a day.
One story.
What did I miss?
Oh, nothing. We talked about. We did news, and it was about the Texas Supreme Court walking back the verdict from the Texas Appeals Court for the Warner case.
Oh.
Yeah, the people that I don't know, happened 10 years ago. They went over the median, hit a Warner truck, and then they blamed Warner for the accident, sued Warner. They got awarded $89 million, and then Warner appealed it, took it to the Texas Supreme Court, and they agreed with Warner, saying, hey, like, you guys were driving in the lane you were supposed to be in, on the side of the highway you were supposed to be in, under the speed limit, completely within legal regulations of hours of service, like everything. And, there's no way that we can find you at fault for this accident. So it's a big win, Ingrid. They're always trying to sue the trucks, man. Always trying to sue the drivers. Just like that one, we talked about this not too long ago. I think this one happened in Arizona. Truck was parked in the emergency lane or whatever it was, and it was in the city, but they're in the emergency lane with their flashers on, and a car rear ends them at high speed and unalives both the people in the car, and then they sue the fucking trucking company because they were like, well, if you weren't to park there, we wouldn't have done this. Well, if you would have been paying attention to the damn road, it wouldn't have happened either. So, it's a big win. A lot of, trying to get these people to stop chasing after the truck companies and suing them for ridiculous amounts of money.
I still think that when they did the law, the move over law, and they did it for emergency vehicles, I think it should have been put for any vehicle to the right side of the white line on the shoulder. I think it should be a move over law for any vehicle on the shoulder. I don't care if it's your putt bike.
I mean,
I
that's
agree
wishful
with
thinking.
that.
You can't even get people to move over for emergency vehicles. That
Yeah,
20
True.
years in the
That's
22 years in the fire service, and I never was really scared of dying in a fire. You know where I was more scared of dying? On the side of the interstate.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was, I think it was Illinois, because I spent 8 weeks there. It was in Illinois, I think, where it says, for the move over law, it says vehicles with lights flashing. That's it. So, like, if you're on the side of the road with your four ways on, I believe that qualifies.
I wondered that. I mean, I've thought about that.
That'd be the first and only thing
I
Illinois
agree
did,
with.
right?
I think it should be that way, and I never did it for everyone until I was a driver. When I got my CDL, and even to this day, when I see someone pull on the side of the road, I don't care what it is, I move over to the other lane, and it's because just like my trainer told me, you don't know what is going to come out from behind that car. Like, it could be the tire that they're changing rolls out into the interstate. You know what I mean? It could be they fall into the lane of traffic. They could have their kids and their wife. Most people pull their family out of the car, have them stand in the median. So I agree with that. I think just moving over and think of yourself standing or sitting on the side of the highway, changing your tire with 80-mile-an-hour traffic buzzing a foot and a half away from you.
On that, I have a kind of a sad story. This is from back when I was 18 years old, and I was working working on the freight dock, unloading inbound. And this one guy, his name was Scott, and I won't say the last name, but young guy also. He's probably 21 or 22, had been there for a little while. And we're hand unloading a pallet that had fallen over. And he's like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go on vacation. And, the family and I and whatnot, and they were on their way out of Dallas. It was after dark. And sure enough, driver's side rear tire went down. He pulled on the shoulder, and the wife and the small child were kind of off to the side. And yeah, he got hit. He didn't make it. To this day, I don't know about for a big truck, but if I'm in my pickup or my son's driving his truck and you have a flat and you're on the middle of the interstate or whatever, kill that wheel. I don't care. Get off the road completely and pull into a parking lot. I don't care how slow you're going. Just get the four ways on and get out of there. And I'll buy a new wheel. That's a lot cheaper than getting hit.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd rather be sitting this way on the side of a ditch than sitting up.
Sure.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Good conversation, guys. I'm with Paul. I just saw where he said that was a good conversation. I mean, it is. It's something that we can't stress it enough. Just because long say when oncoming traffic, I don't know what people said. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm with it. Well, we all should be, slow down, pull over for anything. I said, even if it's in your car, just think about how you would feel. And especially drivers, man. I have noticed that, like, even though I've been out of the truck for 7 years almost, I still pay attention to what trucks do on the road, like just to see what their mannerisms are. You know what I mean? To just see, like, if people still do the same things I did. I'll tell you one thing that I noticed: tailgating like a motherfucker. I don't understand what the deal is with these drivers and just being, right on each other's butt. But the move over thing, they don't do it for other drivers. They only do it for cops or ambulances, I think, because they know if someone sees it or whatever, they're going to get pulled over. They don't get over for four-wheelers on the side of the road no more. I go down the highway at night. Everyone uses their brights. I'm like, dude, do they not make headlight interceptors anymore? Is that just not a thing?
If you bought a quality vehicle like a Toyota, they have an automatic dimmer.
With trucks, man, you don't never want to flash your brights in a truck. Flashing in a big old mirror, you want to intercept and turn off your headlights, and like that's the best thing to do. But even drivers now flashing each other, I'm like, golly, so it's
a big difference.
It is a big difference. I don't know if I could be out there on the road. That's why I have a great appreciation for a lot of the ones out there now, because I don't think I could deal with some of the shit out there. Like
Jeff.
Oh my God, man.
What?
Did you fall asleep?
No.
Oh, Jeff.
I'm listening. I'm multitasking.
I was just checking. It looks like your head was down, your eyes were closed.
No. I don't want to look at my monitor, so I was looking at my phone doing some work. So
That's I mean, I do the same thing. I was just worried about you, but that's all.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Love you, buddy.
All the love. How's that thing go? Is that a heart?
I'm ready for him to come back down to Florida. He keeps saying he's going to come
Is
down
that
and
what
go
it
play
is?
golf again.
Well,
Whatever it is.
I am. I'm coming down there. I'm coming down there.
Don't come down right now. It's hot and miserable.
Yeah, you should have been up here the last 3 or 4 days, man. 101, 102, Jersey.
Bro, I don't. No, that's one thing I don't do is I don't take Yankees any fucking body north of the Mason-Dixon talking about heat at all ever. I don't want to
hang on, T.O.
Wasn't they just had like
as a-
hottest
as a
baseball
life-
for
game?
like 4 days. For like 4 days, it'll be hot. You know what I
As
mean?
a
We're down here and it's
lifelong-
triple digits. Like, dude, in Texas and probably in Florida too, we literally have like tickers on our news stations of how many days of triple digits we can, and they give out prizes for people who guess the right amount of days.
And it's not just that, but it's that UV index. But to be fair, the Mason-Dixon line goes up north of Pennsylvania, so we need to find a different divider if we're going to talk about Yankees. That one kind of
Mid-South.
I-40.
I-40. I like it. If
There
you're
you go.
above
Anyone
I-40,
above
you're a
I-40.
Yankee.
Adam,
20.
sometimes I just wish you would shut up. I bet your wife says that to you like 18 times a day.
Like 16. I just look, man. Look. I'm a born and bred Southerner. Born and bred Southerner. I used to say the whole Mason-Dixon line thing. Then some damn Yankee corrected me. So now I can't let you misspeak. I'm trying to help.
Well, I mean, but see, it wasn't more. I mean, whatever. We'll let it go. You're right. Anything above I-40, we'll just say that. How about that? That's a good. That's good.
Okay, wait a minute.
You're on
That would
notice.
put me I-40, so we can't do that.
Anyone? All right. Anyone? Okay, except Ingrid. I mean, we're gonna have to like add addendums to this thing.
Anybody above the Tennessee state line? Sorry, Indy, you're out.
Well, and I hate to tell you this, but it was like a high of 78 2 days ago at my house.
Shut up, Ingrid. You can't talk anymore. Damn, 102
Be
down
quiet,
here.
Adam.
Yes, ma'am.
we haven't got crazy yet here. It's just the humidity that gets you here.
I got another question. What all did Rob get in? Ooh, College Station, 90 degrees.
Ooh.
What all did Rob get into conversation on the Duffy thing today? Did y'all talk about that?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, Duffy, he didn't come on.
Well, he did come on.
He
but
went.
not
didn't come on here.
Not on here.
No,
But I
no
was
one.
just saying,
No one knows
what
the
did-
joke. Yeah.
No, I do know the joke, and I could really go off with
I
this
know.
joke.
I know. That's what I mean. No one else knows the joke. I know.
But anyway,
No, he didn't talk about it though, Ingrid. No.
I was just seeing what y'all thought about it. Because I mean, he didn't give any information or any bombshell of new news or anything like that.
What do you guys think it's going to do? Do you think we're actually going to have the results we're looking to see where the market balances out? Or do you think that's all just a bunch of BS?
I think it's just another hush hush thing. Freaking get people quiet for a little bit.
I mean, Trump's already called off ICE from stopping farmers, hotel workers, and restaurant workers because they couldn't find people to fill the jobs, which is exactly what some people said was going to happen, and I didn't deny it. But I'm on the side of Trump, thinking we need to do it, but at the same time, like, none of the lazy Americans are going to do those jobs.
Well, I think it's also probably there's going to be a hard look at really enforcing it in the trucks because of it being, I mean, we're the necessity of the lifeline of the nation. And I mean, if you're talking about he's already pulling it back from, hotel workers and farmers and that stuff, I mean,
yeah, how long is it before he pulls it back from interstate commerce? Because it's not like there's a line 10,000 people long at the truck driving schools to get their CDLs. truck driving isn't sexy anymore, right? In the eyes of most Gen Z and Gen Alphas. So
True.
what do you do?
My question to this is, I would really like to see some numbers that really comes from the data of the DMV. It shows, we all know they have the data. We all know they know exactly how many are here, under whatever.
Bye, Jeff.
Have a good weekend.
Are you
You too,
gone?
buddy.
Yeah, I've got to scoot.
Bye, my dear. Have a good weekend.
Jeopardy's almost over.
I just think that that's where I don't think that the numbers are high, but I don't think that it would put us into a massive chaos if they were off the road, even to fulfill. There's enough American truck drivers. There's no shortage of drivers.
It's not a shortage of drivers, and it never has been a shortage of drivers. It's the way drivers are treated. They need to put in laws that say that drivers have to have access to bathrooms at shippers and receivers. Even if you build separate bathrooms for just the drivers and not the staff, you can't deny people basic human rights.
Well, that means people have to spend money.
I mean, I agree, but yeah, right.
I'm gonna
But,
say,
you know, if we weren't pissing away money overseas with the things that have been being revealed to us the last year or so, you could get government grants to put those bathrooms in and put a truck driver lounge and shippers and whatnot. We could do stuff that actually benefits U.S. citizens.
well, with what they're not paying us to haul freight, they could afford to build the damn things themselves. I mean, bottom line, you know, I'm sure that you can take that extra
I was looking at
$3 a mile and go build me a damn bathroom so I can wash my hands. I mean, come on.
I was looking
You
at Jason Rabine's post today about U-Haul and working with Global Trans. And you look at what Global Trans has those U-boxes posted on DAT for, and it's 23 cents a mile. Whoa, it's the cat man himself.
Right,
Hey guys, how's it going?
definitely that.
Well, I don't. There's never a driver shortage issue, man. It's a driver retention problem.
Right.
That's
It's
what it
retention
is.
How do you? So they need to put a stop to the CDL mills. Getting these guys in and suckering them into predatory leases to where they can never get out of debt, and then they lose the truck, and they're treated.
Payment.
Yeah, they're treated less than human. How do you expect people to stay in the industry?
Well, they're not, but at the same time, nobody teaches these people what they're actually getting into as a lifestyle. They
Well,
come
absolutely.
into it, they're taught, you know, they're shown a number of a paycheck, they're shown and guaranteed they can get home times, but nobody tells them how the hell to live out here. They have no clue of how to even find a freaking shower to start with. You know, they have no idea of how to maintain. They're not used to being away from home. None of us were when we all started this. The only way we learned to do all that was by people teaching us. And that came from the drivers that became before me. And it should be coming from the drivers like myself that, you know, paying it forward type of thing. That's a huge problem right now.
It goes
Drivers
back to
that are
the
older.
entitlement theory, though. Ingrid, is everybody's entitled, and it's all about them now. They're not
Exactly.
trying to help the
No.
next generation.
I
No,
don't
they're
know.
not.
I don't know if everyone saw this video. It went pretty viral earlier this week. But we're talking about this new generation and the drivers and the old generation. And I just want to say that also don't think. And someone had mentioned this earlier about something else, but the generation today is not the same as mine or yours, Ingrid, or any of the others. Like they don't get what it takes to truly be a driver and live and be successful and have a good family and family life and do all these things and live a comfortable life alone. Because I'm out on the road. I had a fucking fantastic time out on the road. I went to Vegas, I don't know how many times, and gambled. I had friends that would pick me up all across the country. We'd go hang out. We'd go do stuff. I mean, just all these things that I did. But my trainer, taught me those things, Ingrid. They taught me, hey man, when you got time, dude, stop somewhere. Go and see some stupid roadside attraction. I got paid to go see the Statue of Liberty because Cisco denied my appointment, and I dropped my trailer right there in Cisco's yard and left and drove and went to Liberty Park, and I got paid to go see the Statue of Liberty. So I agree with you on that, but or I'll say that, but it is it's also the fact that these companies have gotten that they're not treating them like they say they're going to. You know what I mean?
Right.
People are being lied to all the time, and their paychecks aren't right. They get paid a trash pay. They're forced to be with some trainer that's an idiot, and they're in training for way too long. Some of them,
and they're only
they
paid
need
when
to
they're driving miles, and they're not getting the miles they need to make the paycheck. And it's because some DM thinks that they hold a little bit of power over somebody, and you do something that upsets that DM, and they just leave you sitting for days on end.
I agree. I agree with you on that too, man. 1,000%. It's a vicious thing out there, man. It really is. And I'll tell you, I loved Over the Road, and I liked local too. I had better luck with the local stuff. I felt, and even though I worked for corporations, I worked for PFG and I worked for McLean. I mean, publicly traded, multi-billion-dollar companies, but I felt I had more leverage there because I will say this, with those local companies, all of us drivers, we were united. I mean, against everything. I don't know what it is with the local driver mentality, but if you messed with one of us, all the rest of us were going to show you. I mean, because, you have parameters to meet. You got to be at a delivery at this time. Well, okay, today all your deliveries are going to be 15 minutes late. And you're not going to know about the end of the day, and you're going to wonder why. Well, it's because you think you and the dock people thought you were going to be funny and play little games with us. We're going to show you what happens when you play games with drivers.
Were you a Teamster?
No, bro. Tex can speak to it. Dude, I'm in Texas. We don't do unions down here. Dude, Tex, do the local people, I don't know what it is with local drivers. They are just unified. I don't know what it is or how it happens, but dude, McLean, we had 200 drivers. Every one of us knew each other. We all backed each other, stood for each other. When we all pulled in and had to clean off our trailers, dude, if I was done and Tex was next to me and we pulled in at the same time and he still had shit to do, I would jump over and help Tex pull off the rest of his pallets because I know there's 10 of our buddies out there that's been on the road for 20 hours. You know what I mean? Because we're running teams and
groceries. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the local stuff, man. It is so different. Drivers are treated different and they think different.
I can speak to the Teamster local drivers things. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't mean. I have a little bit of a delay. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yeah, so when I worked at UPS, I was a supervisor, and although I could drive the rigs around in the yard, if I had to move them, but I was on road for a few years and drove everything up to right under CDL. But those Teamsters, those guys, a lot of them get a bad rap, but a lot of those guys were super cool, and they had it made. I mean, they would hop back and forth, your run might be to Harrisburg and back twice a day, and then you go home, but they're the same way as what you're talking about. You mess with one of them, you mess with all of them. And I'll tell you what, I was very well liked there, but if you were not a well liked manager, they would do anything they could to undermine you every chance they got.
Well, we didn't have unions. They tried coming into both PFG and McLean. All the drivers shut that shit down because we all said the same thing to each other. I don't need to pay no other grown ass man to talk for me. I can talk for myself. And again, we were all behind each other. I mean, I am not lying to you. There was more times than once that we all came in 30 minutes late. Just to do it because if they messed with someone the following day, gave someone some shit, took someone's truck from them, the doc screwed them over. We just didn't play that game. We're the ones that keep this thing going. If you want to play fuck games, we can play fuck game with you back.
Oh, dude, that's
just the way.
That's the fire service too.
One day at McLean, all of us left all of our dollies sitting out in the middle of the parking lot. When you get back, they had a whole dolly shed, and one day we all got back because one person left their dolly tied up to a pole that was outside of the covered area. So they snipped it and threw his $300 dolly that he paid for himself in the trash. So the next day when we got back, we all left all of our dollies, 200 and something drivers, and some of us have 2-3 dollies, and we left every single one of them in the middle of the parking lot.
Good.
And that's the thing is that right there is a camaraderie that's built, and you built that within amongst yourself. You look at OTR and stuff, and we all know that's the difference in the local and the regional and the OTRs is you have a chance to build that day in and day out to see if somebody's sick 2 days ago, you get to see how they are 2 days later. You get to see somebody goes to have a baby and you get to see, what it's like. So this is all, this is where that bond and this is where back when we didn't have cell phones and we didn't have the stuff to deter you from spending time with each other on the road and sitting down and eating dinner and running together and getting out of the truck with people. Now everybody's too stuck on a cell phone or too stuck on, videoing something else on something that nobody takes the time to build that camaraderie anymore. But the local drivers do because they have the time to do it while they're working. You're busting your ass as a local driver, but you're not doing it with a phone in your hand. You're doing it with other drivers in your face, if that makes sense.
That's exactly what Paul's saying right here is because we're in close proximity to each other. We do we see each other every single day. When I was at PFG, there was a group of 12 of us that we all got off at the same time, and when we got off, we all went to the gym at the same time every single day. We all hung out with each other on the weekends, so we built that camaraderie. And I'll tell you this, I never worked harder as a driver than I did running local. Never.
I will say this real quick. Try to give you a quick story. So once again, back in 1992, overnight transportation, Dallas, Texas, it was the Wild West. I ended up being a yard jockey, backing the trailers up and hooking up sets, breaking them down, and got pretty good at it. And there were 2 per shift that were operating on a 68-door dock. Now, we ran fast, really fast, really kind of scary, dangerous, because the supervisors were in our ear constantly. We had a clipboard full of moves, 17 out, 47 back to 17. Anyway, moving quick. We had a new terminal manager come in, and he witnessed our operation one night on the outbound. And that night, he's like, you can't do this. There's safety stuff, and safety is important. It is. But everybody that worked there knew this is just what we did. And we ran hard and fast and did what we needed to do. Production numbers were amazing. And they got a daily production report for outbound and what have you. And anyway, he says, you've got to do it by the rules, which is 5 miles an hour. Okay, so we got with the supervisors and said, we're going to run it by the book tonight. Bear with me. There was things backed up. Nobody was getting anything done. They're waiting around for us. The line haul drivers were getting all pissed off because they couldn't get their load on time to get out of there. They started hooking their own sets because we were running so slow. Well, that next morning, terminal manager, he's looking at his report and calls us in. He's like, what happened here? Oh, we ran it by the book. We can continue to run it by the book, but you're not going to be here very long, are you? He kind of looked at us and he's like, be safe, do what you got to do. And we went right back to doing what we did. And he actually got a raise out of it eventually, I think.
You know what part of that is? Because I was a yard driver too at FedEx Ground because my yard driver, we were so short people 3 out of 5 days. I'm like, hey, look, man, I need you to go do the irregulars, and I would put the trailers on door. It boils down to they don't want to pay for that third yard driver or the third truck, right? Mm-hmm. And Adam, to your point about the bathrooms in the warehouses, we got to go upstream with the people who build those warehouses, because I worked at one that was 1,300 feet long, right? Quarter mile. The bathrooms are only at the opposite ends and when we actually called in a contracting company to add bathrooms, because we only had 4 toilets for 200 assholes, right? And the first thing he said was, it's the code. I said, I don't give a damn what it's to, right? Like if you go to the airport and everybody gets off the plane, people are just cycling through the men's bathroom, but the ladies' restroom has a line down the hall, and that's also to code. So all they're doing is looking at the bottom dollar. Everybody's getting the absolute cheapest McDouble ramen noodle type warehouse or operating plan. And then they wonder why things perform like they're out of shape.
I don't even have bathrooms for my shippers or carriers.
Listen, Allie, we don't have fucking time left in the day to listen to your shit that you're
Listen.
dealing with at your job. I get
Holy
the text.
cow.
I know what you're dealing with. Let's talk about some of these LQT rates. Oh, I would love that. I'm gonna pull up rate view.
God.
I still ain't made my post. I told you I'm gonna make.
I know
I'm
you
gonna make
haven't.
a
So
post
you
about
saw I
that.
sent you the updated post, right? Like the
Yeah.
updated after he reran the lanes and reconfigured the pricing. I'm like, well, if you can come down that much, then where's all that money going? Oh, in your pocket? Cool. Got it.
Adam, $10.78 a mile on a fucking
I'm listening.
120-mile run.
I'm listening.
Yes, that's what LQT quoted her.
What?
Wait a
Yes.
second. Whoa, hey, back up a second. 128-mile run, and they're quoting $1,200.
Yes.
Okay, so I do the same thing, and I win them every day.
Yeah, but you do different stuff. What she's doing, it's not worth it. It's way out of ball. Way out of
Well,
ball.
I mean, I do that on some of my dry van stuff because that driver might get stuck that entire day with that one load.
Agree. This is different. It's an up and back 2-run 2-day. Like up and back, easy peasy, lemon squeezy stuff.
Okay.
Out and back. All of my drivers have always ever been out and back. Whether I just started a new job 3 weeks ago with a new company that I am building the entire DOT compliance network from the ground up because we don't have one. Driver qualification files, not existent. Vehicle maintenance records don't exist. So I am building this from the ground up, and we have customers that we have in-house drivers, right? My jaw kind of hit the floor when they told me that they charge $5 a mile for full truckload. Now, mind you, these pieces, either the load weighs, 40,000 pounds, so it's CDL required, right? It may weigh 40,000 pounds and be 20 foot long. It may be 40 foot long and weigh 15,000 pounds. God only knows, but they charge the same whether it's 5 pounds or 15,000 or 50,000 pounds. They don't care. So I reached out to that particular 3PL, looking for some lane quotes, right? Just to have something to put into perspective to give to our customers, right? This is what we're being quoted from this major, 3PL, right? This thing that everybody knows, everybody's familiar with their name. Here you go, Mr. Customer. Here's what they're going to charge you to deliver and pick up your shipments and bring them back to Waco.
On a hot shot, 1078 a fucking mile, bro.
Okay, so
on a hot shot.
Here you go, Pedro. You're leaving more shit out.
The important stuff, right? Now, mind you, okay, so I have 4 trucks and 18 trailers that belong to the company that I work for. We cannot deliver these loads because they are over height for our assets. The height of the box, which it's a frame, is 9.5 foot tall. When you put that on a flatbed, right, you're going to be over 14.6. By law, I can't deliver that. I can charge you for a single trip oversized permit, which I will gladly do if you're going to pay for it. I don't mind. But then comes route planning and the other things that go along with that, low clearances, whatever. So I don't have time for it. Along with trying to build this DOT compliance, I don't have time for it. So for me, it's easier.
Pedro didn't refer me. God, Pedro.
Epic fail. I don't know. Man, he didn't tell me who to reach out to. He just said, I got some people. So I'll tell you that.
Saying, I do flatbed and oversize every day. I know he gave to AJ.
Hey, Adam, take your fucking ego out of your mouth for a second.
You just gave AJ
now you just messed it up. No, hey, Allie, I was going to add him to the list, but not no more. See, you just talked yourself out of a job, bro. Literally.
See that? No, I'm going to jump in.
It is a dedicated run from Waco to Dallas, honey. Waco, Dallas, and back.
I mean, I have a yard in Dallas. I'm just saying.
Look, circus monkeys, not mine. I did what I had to do with Pedro and reached out to him, and what he does from that is up to him.
No, I'll
hey
be
guys,
Adam. It's nothing crazy. Like whenever she needs it, I'll be able to handle it. It's really It's simple. It's being way overcomplicated is what it really is.
Like
it is. This is a simple thing. These things are 9.5 feet tall. They're 20 feet long. You get the right hot shot, not just any hot shot. You get the right hot shot that can drop that thing. Well, I mean, for the weight, dude, it's perfect. Why get a fucking step deck and waste?
Because my step deck drivers have bills to pay too.
I know, but I'm just saying. But like, why waste their time on a 128-mile load? Most of them, unless they're local, are not going to want to do that.
Stay dedicated. I'm just.
That's what I mean. Unless they're local, they're not going to want to do that. Point is, this being just way overcomplicated. It is what it is. It's a really easy thing. Yeah.
But man,
hey guys,
go ahead, Anthony.
I'm sorry. I feel bad. I got stuck in a really bad storm. I actually almost got struck by lightning today, and I went out back behind the building, and it struck like right across the parking lot, just over the tree line. I could literally feel it. It was that close, and so I had to stay in. Yeah, I had to stay in the building like until it passed, and then it took me so long. I just got to my parents' house to pick up my kids. So I'm going to throw down some food real quick, and I'll try to hop back in if you guys are still on here when I get back home.
Yep, you're good. I think we probably got about another 20 minutes, and we're going to shut it down. So
okay,
maybe not.
Well,
just let me know.
No kids next Friday, so I'll hop on the next one with you.
All good, man. I know kids are a fun killer. I agree. No, I'm joking.
I'm telling you. I mean, it's like they want to eat. I'm like, I just fed you yesterday.
I just fed you last week.
I know.
Man. What are you talking about?
I know. Like, come on.
Charles is in the kitchen making dinner.
And they do grow up. They really do grow up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Blink and you'll miss it.
Later.
All right, guys. Have a good night. You too. Bye bye.
Hold on, Adam, for you go. Paul, or Allie, Paul,
what?
really good friend of ours, trucker and a musician. He says, "What does Allie do?"
What do I do? How do I describe my job title? I don't
Is
even
it officially
have...
shit show super? I can't even say it.
It is shit show supervisor. Yes.
All right, fantastic.
So, I was originally hired, right? My entire background is in logistics. I was actually on here. I've been on here a couple of times with Pedro, but I started with the Women in Logistics last March. The first ever inaugural episode. Fantastic. Love that group of ladies. But my entire background is in logistics, and my dad's an owner operator. So I grew up, in this industry, right? You guys talk about like getting to see the Statue of Liberty, right? Because somebody, they didn't do what you wanted to do, right? My dad quit. We were at Niagara Falls, and my dad was hauling a load of Chiquita bananas for a company called Jevic out of Houston, and they wouldn't get him a backhaul, so he quit on the spot. He was like, "No, I'm done. F you guys. I'm out." And we went and saw Niagara Falls, and then deadheaded from Niagara Falls, from Buffalo, New York, all the way back to home, which is Waco, Texas. So I grew up, knowing the back end, right? Knowing the owner operator side of things. When COVID hit, I was working for Baylor University in town. When COVID hit, I went to work for an LTL shipper, and I was doing cargo claims. Really interesting thing. I learned a lot during that time frame, right? When that company shut down, I went to work for another company, a manufacturing company out here, and I was shipping trailers, enclosed cargo trailers, specifically on wedge, like they look like car hauler type things, but they have this, center rail that goes up the middle, right? I've been shipping those for the last 5 years. I started with this new company 3 weeks ago, and we are a galvanizing company. So we get in raw material from our customers. Either they'll bring it to us, and then we have to ship it back to them. Sometimes we go get it up, go pick it up. We have drop and swaps. And so when I started, it was to do driver scheduling. That was what I was hired for, was to focus on doing the schedule for the 4 drivers that we have, the 18 trailers that we have, right? Keeping track of all of that. Well, I got 3 days in and said, "Oh, hey, has anybody else seen our CSA score? There's an issue there." No, nobody knows what that means. Okay, well, let me tell you what it means in terms of DOT, right? Oh, hey, because we're intrastate, it was like, oh, our Texas DMV operating authority is expired. Does anybody know that? They're like, oh, well, what does that mean? Well, that means legally we can't ship a fucking thing until it gets fixed. So
This
that was
gets
day
better and
4.
better.
Oh yeah. So that was day 4 of me being in this position. The next week, I'm like, hey, do we have vehicle maintenance records? Do we have records of doing PMs on trucks and trailers? These 18 trailers that we own, where is this documentation stored? I'm going to start, a file, right, as is required. Oh, no, nobody has that. Okay, well, what about driver files? Does anybody have copies of our CDLs and our med cards and the things that? No. Okay. Well, what the hell? So I am building this DOT program from the ground up. Haven't even started learning how to schedule our drivers because we're so far out of compliance that I can't even start doing the job that I was hired to do until we get everything else fixed. So yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
that.
Real
Oh
quick
my
question.
God.
There you go.
Real quick
Paul.
question,
There you
Allie.
go, Paul.
You said
What's that?
you're in Waco. You said
Yep.
you're in Waco. You
Yep.
worked for an LTL company that went out of business. Is it that one?
Is it what? It is. Hey,
There you go.
what the hell?
Yeah, I drove there for 3 years. Bryan,
That's
Texas.
funny.
Look,
I
my
didn't even.
my
That's
southern's coming
funny.
out.
I knew that, and I didn't even pick up the sign in the garage.
You didn't even
Like,
pick
I
up
knew
two and
who you
two,
worked
yeah.
for. I didn't even. That's funny. That's funny.
Ryan
I
0800,
don't
I was
drop
the lead
names.
driver.
I didn't know
Yeah?
Central went out of business.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, like 2-3
December
years
of
ago.
20. Yeah, December of 22.
Dude,
Think
that
so, yeah.
was major
Oh, yeah.
news in our area. Like other people knew about it, but like in our area, like that was crazy major fucking news
So
around here.
when
See, we DNU'd him for poor service, so I hadn't dealt with him in 3 or 4 years.
well, there you go. That's why. So I started out as a rate auditor with Central. And oh my God, when COVID had hit, they outsourced all of their billing to the Philippines. We had an office in Leyte and in Manila, and we had backup billers in Bosnia. Okay, so I started out
This gets better.
doing all of their auditing, right, making sure that accessorials were charged, making sure that contracts were adhered to, whatever, detention fees and all that stuff. I moved from that over to cargo claims, and I was doing high dollar cargo claims. So anytime there was an accident or anything that went awry, lost shipments, whatever.
They kept you busy.
Well, absolutely. And so listen, so part of the reason that they went out of business, and I'll be 100% transparent, and I don't care who sees it, is the fact that the claims people that they had working cargo claims in the corporate office did not know how to read addendums to a contract. They did not know that an addendum superseded the original contract, right? So if we have a contract for 10 years and we renegotiate, that renegotiation takes precedent, or that renegotiation is now what is in effect, right? So if we renegotiate a contract and we go from your rate tariff to my rate tariff and nothing else is ever said, then we're now paying our release value for LTL cargo. Nobody knew that. So they would go back and they would read the original contract from like 1970 that says our release value was, hey, $25 a pound for lost or damaged cargo. So that's what they were paying out at. And it wasn't until I got into claims that I was like, guys, this is not right. This is absolutely incorrect. Addendums supersede original contracts. You have to read the newest addendum. You have to see if it's addressed in that. You have to read everything. They had no idea. No clue. By that point, it was already too late. They were in the pisser.
Yeah. They were behind on technology when I was there. I was there from 2010 to 2012.
Oh my God, the AS400.
Whoa, wait, hang on now before you get carried away. AS400 might be old,
bro,
but it's still the easiest damn TMS to work in the world.
I hate it, but it's true.
It's like playing Pong. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Pong on a PS5. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
What's insane, right? It's 2025. Landstar still has the AS400 in operation.
That's who my dad's leased onto. Is
Now
Landstar.
we have forward facing beautiful technology, like we use Mercury Gate for our TMS now and all that shit, but it still talks through IBMI to AS400 and all the
Oh my
bills
God.
go
Bro,
out
you
for
hey,
AS400.
I know you tap 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 tap, and you did it so many times, like you knew you're like, okay, 4 taps to the next thing, you know what I mean? And it's like 2 taps to the next thing. You knew like exactly what you needed to do.
You need to send your rate confirmation F10.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the function keys.
Oh man,
It's the best thing ever. I still do LTL billing for my side. All of our LTL billing, we have a forward-facing TMS for LTL, but all of it goes into AS400, and you have to finalize the billing through AS400.
Our billing is done through. I now work for a German-owned company. We have 3 locations in the United States. We're in the process of building a 4th. And when I tell you that my 2 predecessors out of the Waco location had no idea the back end, like the administrative end of what it takes to run a logistics company, they literally just said, oh, here, we want to ship our own stuff. All we have to do is apply for a DOT number. And that was all they did. That was it. There's nothing else. Nothing else. I have no pre-employment applications, no pre-employment drug screens, nothing.
No history of randoms, nothing.
Nothing. And when I tell you, I literally signed up.
While we're on this exact topic, so Paul has his final question. He said, one final serious question. I used to haul LTL reefer. Every competent dispatcher I ever knew had at least one DUI. Is this an industry-wide phenomenon?
I'll tell you. So,
Paul, we love you. Paul, you are just love you, Paul.
I'll tell you the same thing I told my drivers. There's a reason that you get a CDL and you go into driving, right? Like, we're starting these drug screens once we get back from the 4th of July. I'm waiting on the chain of custody paperwork to come in. And I've warned my drivers, like, after we come back from the holiday, your asses are mine. Like, you don't work for this company anymore. You work for me. Like, here's your new drug and alcohol policy handbook. Here's what we're doing moving forward. And I said, if you have anything in your system, get it out between now and the Monday after the 4th of July.
Adrian, are you writing her SOPs? Is that what you've been doing?
Nah, not quite, but I understand where she's coming from.
I know, right? Adrian done wrote 100 pages. We know where they went to.
I officially do not envy Allie.
Thanks. Anybody have any encouraging words for me? I told my drivers, there's a reason that guys get into driving. Like, it's not for the money and it's not for the glory. So
what is it for?
It's for the chicks, bro.
It's for the dude. You do it for the women,
what you're
right?
talking about. I made fucking money as a driver. I don't know what these. I made so much money as a driver. It was ridiculous.
Pedro, you must be charging
money.
those other cargo rates that I sent you, right? That $12 a mile.
Yeah. I mean, I moved a load the other day for $11 a mile.
Ugh. Absolutely not. Everything that I have is within 150 miles of Waco.
They might be, 70 to 90,000 pound transformers.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that like really pissed me off about it, Adam, is I'm all for that. Like, dude, if it's really 1078 a mile, that's great. Here's the problem. That we all know that LQT is going to put that shit on a fucking board for $400.
Yep.
And they're going to give it to some stupid hotshot driver that's only had their CD, their
watch
MC
2
for
episodes.
30 days.
They watched 2 episodes of Shipping Wars and they were ready to go, baby.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying anything about the driver, man, because like I don't feel that. Like, I don't care if you've had your MC for 30 days. That doesn't tell me shit about who you are as a driver. You could be out here for 30 years and just now got your MC. So that crap don't mean nothing to me. It really doesn't. I don't like that standard. But the point is the industry is stacked against new MCs. So they're going to put it on the board for $400, and they're going to give it to some guy who is just trying to get out there, get age on his MC, do his thing, and they're going to give it to him $400, and he's going to be happy that he made $400 in 4 hours, and then LQT is going to pocket the remainder of that $1,100.
That's why
they're going
I
to
don't
make
use
more
brokers.
than the fucking truck driver did. That's what pisses me off about them. That's what pisses me off about them. Bro.
I hate.
Yeah.
So I've been a shipper for 5 years, right? And I hate using brokers. The
I'm
last
not a
three,
broker. I'm an agent.
Nonetheless, the last 3 companies that I've worked for, all of my drivers have been owner operators, right? They're 1099 contractors. I call them if I have a load. They come get it. The rate is pre-negotiated between the driver and the consignee, right? I have nothing to do with that. It's when we as a company here are having to outsource freight because we can't haul it. We can't haul it. My flatbeds can't haul this equipment. It puts us over the legal limit for height.
Yeah.
Sure. I can absolutely I can do the permits, I can do whatever. We can technically take it. We charge $5 a mile as a company. That's what we charge for freight. Now, is it worth my time to mess with all that? Absolutely not. I have too much other stuff to concern myself with than getting a damn permit for a truck and a trailer to ship a load back and forth to Dallas. Not worth it. I would rather pay somebody else to do it. But if I had my choice, I would pay an owner operator directly, right? I would bring them in as a contractor. I would issue a PO for their payment instead of having to go through a third party agency. I understand everybody has to make money, and I love Pedro. I do. But if it was up to me, I would reach out to the driver directly because I've been on the other side, right? Again, my dad was an owner operator. So
Still is, right? He's leased.
right.
He's leased a Landstar.
He's leased on a Landstar, right? So
we're gonna have to link up and figure out if I've ever done business with him. I'm curious now.
So I get it, right? Like I see both sides of the spectrum. I do. And, and for me, as somebody who's been on both sides of that fence, it's really hard for me to have any appreciation for freight brokers, freight agents, like those intermediaries, right? Because I know how much they're taking off the top, and I know how that bottom dollar affects that driver.
But it's not all of them because brokers who do it right, they understand what a driver needs and they add their fee on top of that. They don't dip in to what the driver's supposed to get. That's how brokering is done properly.
Correct.
That's the difference. And like, I know you're feeling, but like, I mean, there has to be intermediaries. I mean, in this industry, there has to. Not every driver can sit out there and call shippers 5 times a day and then do all the follow-up because shippers never answer on the first call. You got to do emails and all this stuff like that. So, but again, proper brokering and intermediary, your fee is added on top of what the other person needs to get out of that deal.
So do you know, I would rather take the time to post on Central Freight or Central Dispatch or is that a Bruce?
Control your ADHD, Allie.
Sorry.
Control.
Anyway, I would rather go on, I would rather go on DAT. I would rather go to Truckbook. I would rather go to Central Dispatch myself, right? And dispatch these loads. Because again, right, with the freight brokers and the freight agents and taking their fee out of what the driver. Now, granted, I mean, it's a little bit different with shipping what I'm shipping now than what it was before, right? When I was shipping loads that my drivers were having to unload themselves, that was a little bit different. Now, you pull up to the job site, they unload you with a crane because this stuff weighs tons. And I don't know. I was going.
Hey,
sorry.
I like when shippers say this and when they go, I could do this, and I'm like, okay. So you on top of the job you already have to do with dealing with what your normal job is. You have the time to deal with the 50 to 100 plus calls. You're going to be able to spend the extra time to verify, validate all of this stuff, all of these things.
Come up with all the rate
that's coming through there. See, that's the thing. Like, and I'm not saying this to like down talk on people who say that. It's just saying that like I hear this a lot from shippers and customers like, well, I can just do this myself. What makes you valuable? It's like, because, dude, I do the job of literally like 5 other fucking people that you don't have to pay to do it. Like, I'm going to take care of your compliance with this carrier. I'm going to take care of verifying everything with them, all your tracking, all the billing for it, everything. And if you, Mr. Shipper, really had that time, you would already have a subscription to DAT. Or
not just
what'd you call it, Allie? Truck book? Or
Yeah.
to truck book? That's going to be my new word for truck book.
So,
that's going to be my new word, truck book.
There's well, I can't say the other word because I think
Is that Charles? Go over there and kick him in the ass for me.
No, he's cooking dinner and then he's got to get out of here. Christopher has a sleep study tonight, so they got to go do all that stuff.
Oh, look at that.
So,
Paul said again, Paul wants to ask you, Allie, do you feel shippers have vested interest in how much brokers take off the top?
I do as a shipper. I don't know that other people that have been in my position have that vested interest, right? Because I've been on both. I've been on the other end of the spectrum where, my dad's paycheck depended on how much the broker took off the top, right?
But would you, Allie, would you be willing to, I wouldn't say admit, but would you agree with that most shippers, it's about the bottom dollar? How cheap can I get this done to save money?
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. That is 100% like, and
brokers do not control the market. It is a lie. Quit believing all of the other truck drivers that don't know how markets work and all these idiot brokers. They don't. Brokers do not control the market. The shippers and the receivers.
It is a shipper's market.
The shippers and the receivers control the market.
So my thing is, right, like I reached out to Pedro today and said, hey, can you get me a quote for going from here to here, right? Because here's what I've been quoted previously, right? And I sent him the other quotes. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I want to compare, okay, well, how can I get this cheaper? How can I get this where, our customer is not going to say, oh my God, and come back with some type of issue, right? Because in the end, right, the consignee, it's not even third-party billing. The consignee is paying for it. But I say that it's kind of a pass-through rate. But I don't want unhappy customers on my end, right? So I don't want somebody who's going to say, oh, well, why did you charge me $1,000 to go from Waco to Dallas? Well, because your load is oversized and it's over height and over length. We had to call in specialty equipment. Most people don't understand that process. And unfortunately, before I started this position, these guys would do whatever somebody told them to do. They've taken these loads actually to this particular location a couple of times now. And it wasn't until we were in the middle of a conversation the other day and they're like, hey, there's some really low bridges that are kind of questionable. That I said, okay, well, if you're over 13 foot 6 inches, then we need to have a conversation. Oh, well, we've never measured. Well, okay, how tall is the load? Well, I don't know. Well, then there's another problem, right? They're taking loads, they're taking shipments that are overweight, they're taking shipments that are over height, they're taking shipments that are over length, and they have no idea. These guys.
Didn't we talk about that too, Allie? Remember when we were talking today, Allie had said, she said, well, I could just get an over height permit. And I said, Allie, you could do that. I said, you 1,000% could, but are your drivers, are they trained to deal with OD freight? Do they understand route direction and what they can and cannot do with overheight stuff? Because anybody can go buy a permit. I could go buy a fucking permit right now. I don't have to have any reason. As long as I give the state of Texas whatever money they ask for whatever permit, they'll give it to me.
If you got the money, you can buy an annual in Texas. If you want
that's what I'm saying.
$5,000 per truck.
That's what I'm saying, bro. But it's like anyone can buy a permit, but is the driver behind that? Do they understand what comes along with having an additional foot hanging off the top of their truck or off to the sides or off to the back?
This is where I believe that we provide a valuable service, because in today's day and age, I can't imagine why any shipper would want to have their own fleet because of the risks, the liabilities, the insurance, everything that goes with it. When
Mhm.
they can get 2 or 3 solid brokers that they have a relationship with that say, hey, look, we're relying on you guys to be our logistics arm, to do us right, to do right by us. And we're going to do away with our 18 trucks and trailers because of the risk. I mean, we were talking earlier about the Werner thing. These guys get into one accident that's not even their fault with one of those 18 trucks, and they get a $90 million judgment against them. What is that going to do to them?
I agree. And when Allie and I talked today, she sent it over to me, showed me what the other people said. I said, no, I said, look, we can use a hot shot for this. This is going to be my rate. And I told her, I said, we're going to put in a hot shot. And I said, because it's such a short run, we're still going to want to pay that hot shot FTL flatbed rate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's me. That's how I think. I'm not like, oh, it's a hot shot, I could charge them cheaper. No, this is a shorter run. It's going to take the same amount of time. This shit doesn't matter. Like, all right, we're gonna pay them FTL rate, and then I'm going to tack on my little bit of money on the end of that, and that's it. Boom, bam, done, easy.
So I sent them over that quote earlier, and I said, hey, just so you know, right, because this is supposed to be an out and back, right? Like you pick up in Waco, you deliver in Dallas, you pick up in Dallas, you deliver back in Waco, same day, no overnights, no detention in theory, none of that, right? So I said, here's what you're looking at, and I didn't give them a quote each way. I said you were looking at just over $5.58 per loaded mile. That means out and back. I'm not charging you freight just one way because we're doing a drop and swap. I'm charging you freight both ways. Like you are going to pay for this driver both ways. Still waiting to hear back.
Boom. Yep. Hey, we'll see. We'll see what they say. You put me on a phone call with them, I'll set their ass straight real fast.
Well, and so the caveat
you will
to
lose that
though,
customer.
I am your motherfucking potato.
Listen, Pedro, the caveat to that though becomes, when you enter into contracts with people, right? When you have the volume, we ship a lot of the galvanized utility poles, right? The Highline, electrical poles that companies are putting in place, right? That's our bread and butter right there. So when you get into contracts with people and they have volume, right? They can guarantee you that you're going to have X amount of loads per week. I'm like, hey, that's a negotiation tactic. Like, you let me know how many times a week you want to ship to me. Maybe we can negotiate a lower rate, right? If you can guarantee me that you're going to have X amount per week, right? Then maybe we can talk. But in the meantime, this is what you're looking at.
I'm there with you.
I am 100% for my drivers, and I always have been. I always will be. The drivers are the lifeblood of this country. Nothing moves without a driver. Nothing moves. You don't get groceries to the grocery store, right? You don't get clothes from point A to point B, right? Like nothing in this country moves without somebody driving it somewhere. And to think otherwise it's absolutely insane. My drivers, I've been here for 3 weeks. I've been with this company for 3 weeks. It'll be, I guess, 4 weeks on Monday, technically. They're starting to figure out, number one, that I'm on their side, right? If you pull up I hate to say this, I've already told Pedro. If you pull up my company's CSA scores, if you look on Safer, if you Google my company, we've had 3 roadside inspections in 7, 8 months, 9 months, maybe. We have been put out of service on all 3 inspections. We were shut down. Yeah. Wolf is right. And so, here I come. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to save the day, but it's my job to protect that driver. It's my job to make sure that driver doesn't get shut down, where they're stuck on the side of the road, where we have to pay somebody to rescue that driver, that truck, that freight, whatever it is, right? They're starting to figure out that I am on their side, right? And we talked, there was talk earlier about building that network and building that rapport and building, that camaraderie, right? I'm the odd man out here. nobody knows who I am in this company because I've been here for 3 weeks. But these guys are starting to figure out that I'm on their side and I'm here for them. I don't care about the company. I care about their safety. I care about their driver's license. I care about their CDL, right? I care about the things that are going to affect them personally should they ever leave. That safety record that follows them. They're starting to figure that out very slowly. But man,
I just can't imagine, like, you just walk in the door and these guys are just like deer in the headlights. What are you talking about?
So the drivers weren't, right. It isn't the drivers know that they have to be drug and alcohol compliant, right? The drivers know that they have to do their daily vehicle inspections. The drivers know that they have to do all of these things. It's everything else above that. It's, okay, well, do we have somebody who monitors their daily inspections? No. Okay. Well, how do we find defects? How do we find out if there's something wrong with the truck? The drivers will pass the truck on their pre-trip inspection and then call the guys in maintenance and say, hey, we need to fix this. I'm like, there has to be a paper trail, right? There has to be something that says, I found this defect, right? We have to address it. And so it's changing that mindset, right? And for me, it's really like the drivers feeling comfortable enough to say, hey, I have ABC problem going on. What do you want me to do? It took me a week to get all of their driver application, their consent for the background check, their consent for MBR, their consent for drug and alcohol stuff. It took me a week to get all of that stuff back in for my drivers. Like, you guys don't seem to understand.
I'm going to illuminate my opinion on this, and then I'm going to get your final comments. We're going to move to Ingrid, then Adam, and then Mr. Hound, and we're going to shut this thing down because my dinner just got here, and we'd be on for 2 fucking hours, and people got shit to do on Friday.
Oh, and Charles is standing here looking at me. So
tell Charles to get back in the kitchen and cook.
I know he's done cooking. That's why he's standing here looking at me. Just to get back in the kitchen and cook.
That's right. Get back in the kitchen and cook. Anyway, okay, so I'll say this. The reason for that, we all know it, is because drivers cannot trust people in the office. It's just a thing that they feel, not that it's always true.
100%.
You just always feel that the folks outside of the truck, even with your own company, are out to get you. They don't care. How can they place the blame on you? You already know that.
Yep.
People need to be more driver facing. If you're a transportation manager, logistics manager, whatever it is you want to title you want to put there, but that's what it is. I was the same way. I think all drivers are like, it's I don't know what it is. It's bred into you from the moment you get in the truck. It is everyone outside of this truck is against me, is just trying to find a way to make this my fault. Allie, What are your final comments, questions, concerns? Up, and she fucking left. Okay. So I guess there's her final comments right there. So we're good with that. Ingrid, you've been sitting and just listening. What are your final comments, questions, concerns, updates? You want to give yourself some plugs?
But I
hold on, Allie. We're talking to Ingrid. You lost it. You left. So now it's Ingrid's turn. Now it's Ingrid's turn.
I'm good. I'm listening.
Okay. Allie, what about you? Comment. Fucking Jesus Lord. She keeps hitting the back button, bro. That's what she's doing. You and I know exactly what she's doing. Oh my God. I know these guys. Adam, go, sir. Oh my God.
Look, I've pretty much talked all my thoughts out. Allie, I was going to say one thing. If you haven't already, that link I just sent you in the streamers chat section is an entire management system. If you're looking for places to keep your documents in the cloud for safety, MBRs, and everything, and it's also a TMS, so you can dispatch your drivers with rate confirmations, communicate with the drivers, satellite track your drivers. Didn't know. I have nothing in the game. I just know about them. Didn't know if you were looking for that.
I haven't even looked at it yet, but I'll tell you what we do use, and it's a nationwide company. It's a major global corporation. It starts with 2 initials, has a couple last, has a last name. That's who we have started with, right? And the entire intent was to start there, build this thing from the ground up, and then there's going to be one person who is over all of our locations. Apparently, that's the corporate goal, was to get one person in who kind of knew what they were doing and put them in charge of the Waco location, our Stoughton, Wisconsin location, and our Terre Haute, Indiana location. And so I'm like, hey, nobody else seems to know anything within this company. Like, our HR didn't know that drivers needed a separate application. Our HR doesn't even know what the requirements are for drivers. So having said that, I'm like, you guys, you're killing me. So, here I am building this entire DOT compliance thing, for the Texas location that I'm hoping is already in place in others. So I am always on board to look for ways to streamline and ways to update and ways to keep everything protected, right? Because that's personal information I have for these guys. All of that, I have access to everything of theirs. And so for me, that protecting their information is obviously the utmost importance. But I mean, there has to be something that gives at some point, right? Like, help. Send reinforcements.
Send beer.
Yeah. I got that.
That's exactly it. Send beer. Mr. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say that's it. I got nothing left. I'm this week has just fried my brain.
Oh, you got plenty left. That's just why I'm stopping you.
Thanks, honey. I appreciate that.
I fucking know you, Allie. I talk to you too much.
That's what happens when you live down the road.
I know. That's right. I know that's right. Mr. Hound, what about you, broski?
What's up? Yeah, I started to be quiet on this show. I've been working this whole fucking time. People trying to get last minute orders in, but great conversations. Be sure to check out Trades Junkies next Tuesday. We got Dan Hendricks on with like 4 of his buddies from the Coast Guard. So we're going to continue on that conversation we had about what they do, inspections and all kinds of crazy shit. So 12 o'clock Central Time. Or actually, no, we're starting at 11. So it's going to be like a 2-hour show kicking off for the 4th of July. But
I'm going to watch that.
What time?
11 o'clock Central. Dude, Pedro, hop on. I need reinforcements, just like, when we talk about.
I know, you're the only non-military person on the show.
Well, tell me. Okay, give me the date and time again, bud.
Next Tuesday, July 1st at 11 o'clock Central.
Okay.
This guy he's talking about, Ingrid, is fucking is cool. He's former Coast Guard, and he used to board ships. And
cargo ships, yachts, like all kinds of crazy shit, and like showed us this video of like these dogs that they use to like go and sniff them out. Like, you ever seen a dog jump from a helicopter?
Don't they put a harness on them as well?
No, they do. But
yeah.
It was crazy. Like, Ingrid, that guy does some crazy stuff. Like,
I'll be there for a little bit.
You should definitely watch. Yeah, that's a good
I'll
one.
Pop in. Absolutely.
Freaking A. Dude,
send me a link to it.
I will. Okay. Yeah, I'll get you a personal invite. Put a bow on top.
Dude, Daniel is so cool. I like him, bro. He is such an awesome guy.
Oh, yeah.
What's his last name?
Hendricks.
Hendricks with the next like Jimmy.
Good.
They're good. He's a part of a group. It's called Find a Fit. Ingrid and one of the founders. They were on the Logistics Lounge a few weeks ago. One of the founders, Sean Farson, is a former Navy SEAL. So
I've heard that, and I've seen him.
Yes, like crazy, like awesome people, super humble, just amazing guys. But yeah, Daniel.
Be a cool show. Yeah, Daniel's the man. So
that first show you did was cool, bro.
Yeah, just remind me, just in case.
Look, my ADD, I'm gonna forget.
We'll send out a bunch of Allie, send me a DM with your dad's truck number. I'm just curious if I know him.
I couldn't even tell you, man. I have no idea. I haven't talked to him in like 4 years.
Oh,
I'll connect y'all on LinkedIn, Adam, or just go look up Ali. She didn't put her last name, so I'll send you her name.
No.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, he's been with Lane Star for probably 10 years now. I have no idea what his chart number is though.
Adam, I'm just telling you to connect with her because, dude, if you want another person in our shit talking circle, Ali, Ali could be in our shit talking circle.
But then we can't be the He-Man Woman Haters Club anymore.
I mean,
it's so funny that you did that, or AJ named it that. That's just
sorry,
so funny.
Sorry,
Oh my god!
I
want to talk about that circle. We have to
I get
keep
these things.
No, we have to keep the He-Man Woman Haters Club. We have to keep that.
Well,
one
fine.
the way
Okay.
it is.
Well, can you start one that's not a He-Man Woman Haters Club
Can
and
we
invite me?
Can we do the He-Men and Women Broker Haters Club? Is that
Yes. Yes. That'll work.
Okay.
That works.
Hey,
You can always do a hate drivers club there.
But we don't though. We
don't
though.
And we don't.
I'm beginning into hate brokers lately.
Hey,
I was gonna get into that, but
I'm a broker who hates brokers.
Facts.
That's why I
call
had
you.
a hell
I just
of a
I just hate
week with
reefer
brokers this
LTL.
week.
I'm just saying that's
why I run it all. Adam, you can't have it.
That's why I
what
call
you
you,
hate.
Pedro.
All mine.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna connect you with the one customer I have that all they do is reefer LTL, and I absolutely despise it. So,
all right, sounds good. We'll talk shit about you. Be awesome.
Yeah, we need to talk about some reefer lanes there.
no, we don't. I don't do
Not you.
Hey, whoa.
Her does. Look, I know what you do and don't do. Remember? I need
Look.
to get. I've got.
Hunter, is that as far down
let's
your
talk
head as that
Hunter.
hat'll go? Just because that brain is so big?
What?
It says that as far down your head as that hat'll go because your brain's so big?
Look, honestly, man, let's not talk about it. Okay. It's
right, boys,
it's
I'm
one of the
getting-
few
I'm
hats
getting
that actually fits my big ass head. So.
I'm getting the look, bro. I gotta go. So y'all be
That's
careful.
good because we need
All
to
right,
go.
y'all. I'm out of here too.
Bye, Ingrid. Thank you for hanging with us. It was so good
Love
to
you,
see
Pedro.
you. Love
too.
you too.
Bye, Hunter. Love you, boys.
Bye.
Bye. Man, it's so awesome to always see Ingrid, dude.
Bye,
Love hanging with you.
y'all.
Later,
I love
Ingrid.
hanging with you. Now I get to Hunter. I'm dead serious about. Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still
yes.
live.
Yeah, we're still live.
No,
Okay.
you're
All
fine. Seriously, we need to talk. I got
Yeah,
some lanes
no.
I need some stuff going on with. Absolutely.
Okay.
Paul,
yeah, for
thanks
sure.
for watching, Paul. We
Love you
appreciate
guys.
it.
Bye,
Tell
Paul.
Denise
We
we
love
said hi.
you, Paul. Paul's the bomb. I'm telling you.
Paul is the
I gotta
bomb.
get
He is.
outta here.
He's freaking awesome. We love
Okay, I found out how to get out of here. Love you guys.
Paul.
Bye.
Love you too, Ingrid. Bye. Bro, that was such a fire show, dude. That was man, the topics, the discussions, like, oh, that's why I like freestyle so much, dudes, because you don't know where it's gonna go.
Dude, there were so many people on this one. Like,
Bro, I love it. I love it. We got Bill Robinson, dude. Like, we ain't seen Bill in forever, man.
I know, man. I know.
Oh man, like him and I, we talk pretty regular. I don't know, probably at least once every other week. We'll text each other, hey dude, how you doing? How's it going? But like, and I ain't talked to him in quite a while, man. It's good to have him on and see him, bro. And yeah, dude, and Rob. I mean, I just saw Rob last weekend, but like, you know, it's hard to get that guy to get a free freaking moment. So it was good to have everyone on. It's a good show, man.
Yep.
I like these. And
We
we
end
got Ingrid. Like, that was the best part, bro. Like, Ingrid coming on and hanging out, man. Because you know her, dude.
Yeah, we need to start inviting her more, man. Like,
I told you, I know how busy she is. So like, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna be another thing that because Ingrid's one of those type of people.
hey, hold on. Before you keep
invite-
rolling, do you want me to are we gonna do an ad break before we end, or
I'm not.
so-
I haven't done any ads this whole show. This is a freestyle
Okay,
Friday.
all right.
just
Hey,
chilling.
I'm gonna roll the credits then, and then
You
we'll
roll the
talk
credits
back.
then. Roll the
All right.
credits. Goodbye. Oh, wait. Before you do. Before you do. We got to.
We're about to ramble on for another hour.
No, just wait. Just wait. All right. We're going to be out of here. Next week, we have Walcott, Iowa. Oh, shit. I said that wrong. The largest truck stop in the world, the Iowa 80 from Walcott, Iowa. They are going to come on the show and they're going to talk about the Trucker Jamboree that is happening in July, just a few weeks away. I think it's the 10th, 11th, and 12th Lee Meyer. She's going to come on the show, going to tell us all about it. And our good friend Nate Johnson from Freight Movement, he's going to be on with us as well because they're going to be at Walcott. And we are just going to have a good old time talking about truck shows. And no show next Friday because it is 4th of July. And we're all going to go have fun and just, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So only a Wednesday show next week for the lounge. Do not forget, next Tuesday, like Hunter said, tune in to Drayage Junkies. We have Daniel Hendricks, former U.S. Coast Guard NCO. He is coming back on the Drayage Junkies with some buddies. We're going to talk about, I say weird. Damn, listen to me. Hunter and Steve are going to talk about some really cool stuff. I will come on if you want to, but I like Daniel. I'll come on and fucking hang out.
You're our in-house translator for all the military shit.
The in-house veteran translator. There you go. I love it. I'm going to make that my tagline too. Dude. That's so yeah, bro. So we appreciate everyone for hanging out with us. Wonderful show. We hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we will see everyone next week. As I always say, chunk the deuces. Mr. Hound, roll that beautiful bean footage.
The views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.